Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, but this will be actually the first episode of this one. So this is what I'm going to call my On the Side series. Today we'll be taking a look at a game that I play on the side, essentially. Something that I don't really plan on like making a series of videos on it. I just want to talk about it a little bit because it's a game that I do enjoy. So this one is called Dragon Tamers. It's a mobile game. I've been playing it since I discovered it on Google Play. It was still in early access, and I believe it was recently just released for the full version about a week or 2 weeks ago. So recently, so now the full version of this game is out, and yeah, now I just like I said, I want to talk about it and kind of just spread the word that this game exists, and hopefully get some more people to join in and play it. So get more players. No, this isn't sponsored or anything. It's just something that I want to do and talk about. So, so yeah, like I said, this game is called Dragon Tamers. If you notice, I have a mouse because I'm running it on. I am running on this Samsung Dex app for my phone, so I can just hook it up to my computer and record it there. As I'm not sure how to record on my phone directly. I'm sure there's some programs for that, but just a quick tour. This is your starting island. This is what you'll start with when you first load the game. It'll be like some obstacles that you have to clear out. It's pretty much just your usual city builder game, but with dragons. I guess kind of think of like, is it Dragon City? I think it's called Dragon City, something like that. One of the games that started as a Facebook mobile or just a Facebook app game, but then became like it's pretty much own big thing. So that is essentially the same thing. The main difference I'll get into later of why I still play this game so much and kind of left Dragon City after like maybe a week of playing it or something like that. But actually I have a lot of stuff I need to do right now because I haven't logged on in a couple hours. So when your gold habitats get full, obviously that's when it shows icon that hey, you should harvest the gold here. Like I was saying, this is your starting zone. This is where you start at. You'll have obstacles that you have to clear out for gold with gold and kind of open up more space. But once you do that, then you'll start building habitats. I believe you start with the wind or the water. I believe you start with water. Maybe. Or is it grass? It might be grass. Let me see. You go into shop and this is where you buy everything. So yeah, you start with grass. Then you go into fire, water, electric, the earth, metal, and then they recently added fairies a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. So that's the new, not fairies, psychics. Psychics is the newest element they added. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing a few things, and I'll talk about everything else in a moment. I guess I can kind of talk about it as I'm doing it. Also, my game does not like my mouse apparently, but playing all feature is something they also kind of... No, wait, that's always been there, right? I believe the plan all feature was always there. The batch planning was different. But, yeah. So, here's more habitats over here. It took me a while to unlock all the islands. You go the starting island, then the next one you unlock is the fire island here. Then you unlock... It isn't this one. You unlock the swamp, and then you unlock the ice biome here, the snow biome, then earth, and then the final one here is I call it the Mystic Island. I think they had names, but I forgot what they were called. It's like Enchanted or Mystic, something like that. So I guess I'll briefly explain all the different habitats and stuff here. So this one is the legendary habitat, or it's called sacred habitat. You have to buy this one with gems. So you have gems up here, which obviously cost real money to get. So you do get some gems in game just for playing. You get it from your daily quest. You can get it is 10 each day from completing 10 daily quests. So that's one way to get gems. Another way... Is that the only way? No, there's definitely another way. Isn't there? There might not be. I think that's the only way. believe that's the only way. Is just to do your 10-day quest for 10 gems. Also, you do get it from achievements and stuff, so there's that. Once you start off, you do get a good bit of gems just for playing the game and being a newbie player, so that's good. Some of the stuff here that I have, you don't unlock until much later. So if you do start off fresh on this game, just keep that in mind. A lot of stuff that I have is kind of in-game stuff, like this sacrificial altar here. You can summon, sacrifice, and upgrade here. Summoning is when you have enough dragon pieces to summon one. I already have all the dragons that you can summon, aside from like 2, but no, I'm missing one, but you can't summon that one. You have to get him from this summoning altar, which I will also show. So once you have 100 pieces, then you can summon them. If you already summoned them once, this is kind of pointless for you. So like if you already have that dragon, I wouldn't recommend summoning them again. You'll want to keep the shards to upgrade them. Because it takes 50 to get 1 star. It takes 100 shards to get 2 stars, 150 to get 3, 200 to get 4, and then 250 to get 5. And that's each level. So 50, then 100, 150, 200, and 250. I don't know the math off the top of my head of how much that would cost in total. Was it like 600? 50, 100, 150, that's 300. Plus that one is 550. Wait, 300. 50, 100 is 150, plus 150 is 300. Plus 200 is 500. Plus that is 750. So it takes 750 shards in total to upgrade the dragon to max, with each level taking more and more time. And it also depends on the rarity of your dragon. So here he's finished. I'm gonna go ahead and finish him. Now he's at 2 stars, and that's how you improve your stats. That's one of the ways you improve your stats. Another thing that they recently added, I'm not sure if this is a level thing or if it's just a buff thing that I kind of saw, that you can sacrifice 2 people at once. Well, queue them. You sacrifice one at a time, but you can queue to have another one start automatically, which was a nice quality of life change that they added, because it used to be you just had to log on every time that one finished and just sacrifice another one. But now you can get 2 going, so if you aren't logging on as frequently as you would like to, you can already have those both queued up and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice another 2 here. Who you sacrifice is up to you, like who you want to kind of work on. I would prefer, personally, and I would recommend that you always start with your legendaries if you can. I'm not sacrificing them yet because I don't have enough shards, even if I do sacrifice them to upgrade to the next star level. Because I need 200 for him, like 150 for him, I think, or is it 100? I believe it's 2 star right now, so like 150. 100 for you, 100 for you, 150 for you, and I'm missing a legendary in here. I guess he's helping, so he's not going to show up. So, and I'll start on my next upgrade here. It'll be this guy. So that's basically the summoning altar. 100 to summon. Once you do it once, don't summon them again. Unless if you do a cheap one, that's fine. Like one of the dragons you can buy if you're trying to do the quest. That's completely fine. So sacrifice whoever you need, and upgrade whoever you're ready to work on. I do recommend that when you're doing your dragons, sacrificing and such, always lock the ones that you don't want to sacrifice, so just in case, so they never show up in the sacrificial altar summoning or sacrificial screen. That way you don't sacrifice them by accident. It's kind of a useful tip, or an obvious tip as well. I always lock in the very first dragon that I get of each type, so I don't have to worry about it. As soon as I get a new dragon, I just go in and lock it. That's what I do. So you notice that everyone here is pretty much locked, and then all the ones that I have duplicates of are not locked. So that's why they show up in the altar, and I just sacrifice them all willy-nilly. Like I said, I'm not sacrificing the legendary ones yet because I don't have enough anyway. And since legendaries offer more gold than all the other classes, it's good to keep them around in your camp here. So he offers 36,000 gold per hour as opposed to, let's say, a regular one. So that was a level 30. Let's look at a regular one at the same level. You offers 18,000. So I think it's like twice as much. Yeah, twice as much gold from a legendary to a common. That's why I'm just keeping him around to accumulate more gold, which I need a lot of. Because once you hit late game, all your gold is pretty much going to be going towards food. It is all going to be going towards food. There's literally nothing else for you to use gold on. You can use it for decorations, which I did try to do. This island actually looked a little bit more spiffy because there was more stuff here. It wasn't just all blank space. But I moved it all over here after I finally unlocked this place because I was trying to just spread everything out. I wanted everything in one centralized area, so all my farms would be over here. All my breeding would be over here, along with my 2 legendary habitats, just so I could show off the dragons that I'm working on, or the ones that I main. So these are all my main dragons here. They're on max at level 60 for now. The way you level up your dragons, you have to upgrade these altars, or towers, and each one takes shards. So the way you can get shards is just by playing the game daily. You usually get a few shards that way. The main way you'll get them is by going to one of the shops. So like the friendship shop is the only way you'll get the light, dark, and psychic shards that you can buy. Like I said, you get them in game just by playing, but it's random which one you get, and you only get a few of it. But if you want like a large quantity of them, then you need to get it from the shops. So light, dark, and psychic, which psychic was new, so that it used to just be light and dark. The only way you can get it was from the friendship shop. Psychic used to be the only way you can get it was from the Dragon Bart shop. No, not Dragon Market shop. That's what it was. But they recently revamped this. So it used to be that it would cycle in and out different shards each couple hours, like every 6 hours or every 12 hours, something like that. I think it's every 6 hours. Every 6 hours it would cycle in and out shards. But now it's going to show all the shards all the time. But they bumped up the price of them to compensate for that, which is most unfortunate, but it's doable. On the other hand, you don't have to worry about trying to hope that your shards come in the shop one time. Now they're always there. So, but the more expensive part of that is what I'm not too happy about, but it works. So, friendship shop, like I said, you get those. Arena shop is how you get the fire and nature shards. I have a lot of points I could be using on these. I'm just kind of debating on whether or not I want to use them to upgrade my altars. I just want to take it slow and steady, which is why my dragons are kind of all balanced out in level. Like most people typically rush either one team or one particular, maybe 2 dragons at most, and they'll just bump them up to the max level and kind of just play through the game that way. I typically like to just balance out all my dragons, or at least a solid 2 or 3 teams. Or at least that's what I'm doing on this game. I'm saying it like I play a lot of dragon games. It's pretty much one of the only ones. So what I'm doing here is I want to balance out all my dragons and get all of their rooms up to, well, dragon bards up to a good place to where I can just chill and then not have to worry about anything aside from leveling up their stars. But like I said, I want to have multiple teams. I don't want to rely on just one team. So every dragon has their own strengths and weaknesses. I like Pyrolus because he's very balanced, and also he's very like epic design, and he's adorable. So that's Pyrolus. He's, I think, the only one. Pretty sure he's the only one that has all A's. Typically, anything that goes above an A, you're gonna lose power and it's something else. There are some dragons that have like similar to all A's and then one S, but then they have a C for some reason. So everybody's stats kind of vary. But Pyrolus is very balanced, and I like him for it. He's tanky, does damage, so he's good for a clutch. Rain here is pretty fast and has solid attack power. He's squishier than Pyrolus, obviously, because he has 2 S's, so you have to lose some stats somewhere else. He doesn't have as much crit. Also, take into account that you want to pay attention to every dragon's stats and see what they're good at to kind of figure out what you want to do with the dragon bards, which I will go into details a little bit later. So, just kind of going through. This is the one dragon that pretty much every single competitive player uses, because he was so easy to get, and 2, he has one of the highest attacks in the game, which is weird because this doesn't scale that high off of his attack power, 133% of his attack. But I guess because it's dark, so is a dark AoE attack, which very few resist, which is why it's such a good um, attack or move. And like I said, he has one of the highest attacks in the game. Or he did before they nerfed him. I should note that. Nyx was one of the strongest dragons in the game, but he was so overpowered that they nerfed him. I think it was mostly said that it was because he showed up in the Mystic Mountain and it would one-shot a team. I don't know if it was because he did the same thing in Arena. I'm not sure. Mostly, I think people had problems with that if their team were like imbalanced in levels. So like if you had one dragon that was like a level 70, but the rest of your team was like level 20 or something, then yeah, you would risk running into a level 80 or level 70 Nyx that would just one-shot everyone on your team. Which at that point I feel like it's your fault for over-leveling only one dragon. But that's just me. But I'm going to talk about my team, I guess, for a second here. So the team that I'm mostly raising up consists of Pyrolus, Rain, usually Azura, and then Darkstar and Genie. Most people use Nyx, Genie, and maybe Losvig, but they also use Arita. I believe that's the name, Arita. So they use that particular team because Genie he's a support dragon. His final skill here is Sacred Wings, which boosts the attack and speed bar of all the dragons on the field. And since he has such high speed, it's a very good chance that he'll go first, which will make everybody else on your team go first. So if you do that, then you also have another supporting dragon, Arita, whose final skill here, Taunts, has a chance to taunt everybody on the team. It hits like 3 times, with each one having a chance to taunt them. So you have a very good chance of taunting everyone on the enemy team to attack only Arita. And then while they're all busy hitting that dragon that's pretty tanky, Nyx just comes in and nukes everybody. Like I already explained, he has pretty high attack with the Galactic Shout. So they just come in and one-shot everybody. And then even if you do survive, you're still spending 2 turns attacking Arita. So it doesn't even matter. And then to add insult to injury, my thing does not want to scroll up. Stop it. So to add insult to injury, Losvig here is another supporting dragon that raises the speed of every dragon. So Genie raises its speed bar, Losvig raises your raw speed. But the most thing that everyone wants from her is Time Walker, or him, her, him, whichever gender you imagine him, her as. A Time Walker, which after she casts it, it allows the dragon that is cast on to instantly act. So like, let's say theoretically, you somehow have it to where Nyx is faster than Losvig here. Typically Losvig will be faster because it has an S tier speed, and I think Nyx only has a B tier. Yeah, it only has a B tier. But if you give him if you buff up his runes to where he has speed and he can outspeed Losvig, then you'll have Genie boost everybody's attack and speed, Arita taunting everyone, then Nyx coming in with the Galactic Shout and nuking everyone on your team. Then Losvig could come in, allow Nyx to act again, and then do the same thing and nuke everybody else that's left or survive. So that's pretty much most competitive team strategy is to just revolve around Nyx. Everyone wants Nyx to live, and then that's pretty much the death of your team. In most cases. Since they nerfed him, there has been a little bit more variety in teams, which I'm grateful for, because it was kind of annoying that it was just protect the Nyx comp, which on its own is a good strategy. It's just because it wasn't unique. It was just because everybody did it, so it became more of a nuisance to keep facing that same team. And for that reason, I actually never even buffed up my own Nyx. He was like a 1 or 2 star for the longest, and I just kind of refused to use him. And the only reason he has 3 stars now is because I just kept getting Nyx eggs when I was trying to get someone else. Nyx is a shadow and electric. So I was trying to get, it might have been Anubis. I think it was Anubis, or it might have been Hades. It was some other shadow type dragon I was trying to get, but I kept getting Nyx, so that's the only reason he's as high as he is. Aside from that, I never really cared to focus on him. Does that kind of go over most of everything? What was I talking about anyway? this dragon. Oh yeah, my team. That's what I want to talk about. So my team consists of, like I said, what did I say? Powerless, Rain, Azura, Darkstar, and Genie. And then I talked about where everybody else's team was. That's what it was. So that's my main team. My secondary team would be Powerless, Rain, and then Darkstar, Genie, and either Icy or Nymph. Maybe even Anubis. It kind of depends on what their team is. I'll change out Azura to somebody else that I have to kind of fit in. I love Fenrir, but I'm trying to wait to use him when he gets 3 stars. Right now he doesn't do a whole lot against the teams that I have to face in Arena, which I guess I should talk about Arena, which is why your team comp really matters the most. Because you can do, oh yeah, I have to do this. Yeah, hold up. So yeah, I don't know if there's a max level to this, but as you play the game, you'll go through, I don't remember reaching level 12 on this, but as you play the game, you'll go through the main story, which it doesn't have like an actual story to it, it's just different map zones. So you start off here, it's the basic one, you try to get to the end, then it repeats the worlds, but every enemy is harder and tougher, and you just keep doing that all the way up to the final level. So right now I'm on, I think it's Nightmare, I believe it's called. Because Grandmaster is the final one, Master is before that. I'm on Hill. So yeah, that's right. I'm on 311 Hill. And the one before that is Nightmare. So the one after that is Master, then Grandmaster. So that's where I am. And once you start doing that, you'll start accumulating AFK rewards, which kind of leads me into the point of why I like this game so much, is that it doesn't require you to spend a hecking ton a lot of money, which is why I'm still playing it. Because it actually throws a lot of free stuff at you, which I'm happy about, because most games, especially free-to-play games of like a city builder style game, they just want all the money they can get from you, which is a bit deterring after a while. But this one actually gives you a lot of free stuff and is very balanced. So one of the things here, if you don't want to spend a lot of money but you want to spend a little, I recommend the piggy bank. It accumulates gems over time just for you playing the game, so like hatching eggs, which I should be doing right now, so let me do that. I always automatically level it, instantly level whenever to level 10. That's pretty much my base level. I do 10 because that's a good amount of gold for them to accumulate for me while I'm waiting to sacrifice them. And then when I do sacrifice them, it gives you 30 shards. The max amount of shards you can get is 50. So that's a level 30 dragon. So the maximum amount, if you want to sacrifice a dragon, is level 30. Really, anything above that is pointless. I will say if you do accidentally go above level 30 though, there is a safety net, which I didn't discover until much later, and I was so grateful for it. Because I leveled up a dragon to level 50 thinking I would get more shards, and then I saw it still only said 30. I was so hurt. I just left the dragon alone. Like, I can't sacrifice a level 50 dragon. That's a waste. I just spent all my food. I think it's like cost like 18 million to go from level 30 to level 50. So that's a ton of food I lost going from 30 to 50, and on a dragon that still only gave me 30 shards. But then I eventually gave in and just sacrificed it anyway because I wanted to go ahead and get my dragon to level 2 to 2 stars. And then it ended up giving me 30 shards plus the 18 million food that I used to level it up. So you'll always get 30 shards at level 30 or above. If you go above level 30, then you'll get your food back. So that is a wonderful feature. I'm so glad it exists because I was in tears. I was so hurt. But I guess I should talk about this place. It's very important later. It's an in-game thing. I think you only get it at level 60. So it will take you a while to get it. But once you get it, this will be one of your bread and butter things to level up. The way you level it up is by enchanting, which you need magic crystals for. And there are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 different abilities you can get from it. You start with this one. When you go up 5 levels, you unlock this one. 5 more, that one, 5, 5, 5. So, and then once you do it again, 5 more from the last one you unlocked, you level up this one to level 2. Then 5 more, level 2, 2, 2, 2. And it just keeps going on like that. So as you see, I'm only on level 2 with these. and recently got this one level 2 once I hit level 50. So level 55 will make this one level 2, with this one being one of the most deadlier spells that you get from this one. Every time one of your dragons dies, you get an attack boost. I like this one because it's consistent. Every time your enemy dragon acts, they take damage depending on your dragon's highest attack power. So it's percentage damage dealt. This one can be fatal, but it's such a low chance of activating that I find the curse more effective. This one, they both pretty much do the same thing, but this one is more consistent. This one would do better than curse, but if it doesn't activate, then it doesn't matter. Plus, if you get stunned or frozen, then it doesn't activate, which is why I like curse. So even if your team is stunned or frozen or whatever, you still get the effect. But if this one activates, they attack like a normal basic attack rather than being a percent of their attack. It's the full attack, which is why this one would be fatal if it activates. This one I kind of find is the most useless of all of them. It restores part of your HP before you act each turn, which is good for longevity, but it's such a small percentage, I don't find it worth it. Maybe it'll work on a tankier team, so if you kind of want to stall out and just keep healing and surviving while you're constantly doing damage to them, maybe it'll work. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone really use it in a competitive play, or I should say arena, because it's kind of a lackluster skill. Maybe they'll buff it one day, I don't know. Typically, the 4 things you'll see used the most are these 4 here. You won't see counter all that much because it's inconsistent, but like I said, if you can get it to work, then it might work. I think level 3 would be better because I think it buffs the percentage chance of it activating. So the higher, that's why you want to level this up as fast as you can, kind of get better skills and such. This one, each time one of your dragons are attacked, it has a chance of reducing the skill cooldown of one of your skills that are on cooldown. If no skills are on cooldown, it doesn't do anything. So like, let's say your team acts first and everybody uses their most powerful skill, then the enemy team acts and they start hitting you. There's a chance that it'll reduce the skill of your highest cooldown skill, or any skill that's on cooldown, it has a chance to reduce it. That since you only use your highest attack skill from the first round, that'll be the one that reduced. Every tier 3 skill has a 3-turn cooldown, so it'll take 3 turns for it to normally come back. But if you get hit, then it's down to 2. You get hit again, down to 1. So then you only have to wait 1 turn before you can use it again. So it's a very useful skill. Plus, it actually adds a lot of stats to you. I think it's mostly the skill. Yeah, the stats you get regardless of which one you pick. It's just the skill itself that you want. Which is another reason you want to level this up, because you get lots of stat bonuses from it. So just more boost on boost on boost. This one is most commonly used in arena. I would say maybe second most common, because I think this one's used most commonly. It's between these 2 are the most common ones. And then this one would be right behind them, very close behind. But this one activates a shield at the start of the turn. And it also has buffs your resistances, so you're less likely to be stunned or frozen or taunted or silenced or anything like that, which is why most people use this one in arena. Because like I explained how most people use Arita and Nyx to just kind of nuke you at the start. So if you have this one, you're less likely to be taunted by Arita, and you'll have a shield to resist Nyx nuking antics. The shield offers resistance, and yeah, okay. As I say, does it only offer resistance? I thought it was like a chance to not be stunned. So yeah, defense and effect resistance. So you're bulkier and you're less likely to be CC. Very useful. Like I said, this I already explained why this one's useful, and this one's good if you have, like, I guess, a pretty glass cannon team. So each one just keeps getting stronger and stronger as you take out more of the dragons, which it can definitely turn the tides if used properly. I don't have a team comp that really makes use of it. I used it when I first unlocked it and I liked it, but now my team comp mostly uses this one because I didn't really explain Rain. What Rain does, he moves super fast, which makes him one of the first dragons to act on the stage. He's 2 points slower than Genie, so it depends on runes at that point. Typically, Genie will always act first if you have the similar rune build that's buffing your speed. So then Rain will act second, depending on speeds. I think Lasvig is also Lasvig might be 1 point faster. Lasvig has the same speeds here, so Lasvig and Rain are both the same. But what Rain does, he has his Thunder Roll ability, hits everybody on the enemy side, and has a chance to stun them. Was it a 25% chance to stun them? And if you have, like me, I have runes to boost that effect chance of stunning them. So I have a plus 87% chance. Let's see, effect hit. So 87 plus the 25. You also got to take into account that you can also increase your effect resistances. I haven't. So it's kind of like just something you have to take into account. It isn't a 100% chance that he'll stun them. I would say take into account everybody's effect resist, which most don't even put in. They mostly go for the glass cannon stuff. So there's a 50-50 chance that he'll stun you, which is more than enough, really. I would say every time he uses it, one person gets stunned at least. Usually two. If you're down to 1 or 2 dragons, then that chance goes down substantially. I notice it kind of almost never stuns them anymore because it's just, I guess the one dragon that's usually left is usually a tank that has effect resistance. So that's probably why. All the glass cannon usually die from the first turn or first 2 turns. So, and the reason I use Powerless is because, like I say, he's all around, has great damage, and his Firewall scales greatly with his attack. So 184% attack, which is why I was so confused why Nyx is used so much, since it's only 133. Mine is in max though. I think at max level is like 150, but it's still less than Powerless. But again, it's the resistance type, so less people resist dark, more people resist fire. But he still does overall more damage, which is why I stick with him. Azura I use because his Rising Strike hits the enemy 3 times and ignores 50% of their defense. So his Overload boosts his attack, and if you have Genie with him, that's more attack. So his attack on attack plus defense shred. So he has a chance to pretty much nuke at least one person before he dies. If he hits you with Rising Strike, there is a very good chance you're dead. Only tanks can survive it, which I use it on tanks sometimes. Most times I'm taking out Nyx just because I don't feel like dealing with him. I won't use it on Nyx if he only has like 1 hit left though, unless Nyx hasn't acted yet. If he hasn't acted, then I'll use Azura to just take him out, so I don't have to worry about it. Minotaur is a relatively new dragon they added. I say relatively new. I think it was like a month ago they added him. I only recently upgraded him to level 60. His is reduced to crit. He's a support dragon, so he reduces the crit of the enemy team, and he heals himself when he attacks. He has a like a lifesteal ability. I'm not gonna go over every dragon. Most of these you just have to be surprised when you see it yourself. So the reason I use Darkstar is he's a healing support dragon. He increases the crit of your team and heals everybody based on his attack power. Yeah, so it's 20% of his attack and increases their crit by 10%. And then Moonlight heals, so he has 1 attack and then 2 healing skills. Darkstar is a really good healer. The problem is he's an exclusive dragon. The only way to obtain Darkstar is from your guild shop, which you definitely have to join a guild for. So that's, if you join a guild for nothing else, do it for the guild shop, or they call it an alliance here. You can get 15 shards from him each week. So as you can see, mine is a 2-star, so keep this in mind. You get 15 shards each week. It takes 100 to summon him off the bat. Then you need 50 to upgrade to the 1-star, and then another 100 to upgrade to this 2-star. So I've already gone through 350, or is it 250? It's 250 Darkstar shards, and now I'm working on getting another 150 to upgrade to him to 3 stars, where he'll be really useful. If you get dragons up to 3 stars, that's when they become pretty balanced, so they can take on 4 stars and maybe 5 stars. Anything less than 3 stars, pretty much you lack in competitive usage, only because most people at a higher rank will already have all theirs up to 5 stars. So you always want at least 3 stars before you start really using them. I make it work with the 3 I have here. These 2 are only supports, but they're also pretty tanky, so it's okay for them to do 2 stars. Genie's tankier than Darkstar because he's kind of a glass cannon. No, it's actually pretty balanced. I never noticed that. He actually has pretty good defensive stats, and he has a lot of HP. So yeah, Dark Star is actually pretty tanky. I think I just have bad runes on him. Yes, because I went for the attack runes. So he has the healing runes, which are the leaves, or dragon bars. I keep calling them runes. I'm just used to runes. I guess I should talk about the dragon bars though. But let me finish my hatching stuff. I don't need any more of him, so I'm selling him. I mean, I'm still leveling him up. I just have too many already that I'm working on. So I'll do that later. I guess let's talk about the breeding. So you breed two different dragons. If you have an element of the same nature, then that's how you unlock the legendary dragons. So two metal types make it light, and then you can get, and then it chooses between one of the two natures here. So I have metal and metal, which makes light. So you won't get another metal dragon from the legendary because you have those two set as light. So then you get a light psychic or a light fire. The light psychic is him, the light fire is him. That's Pyrolus and Themis. He's a new dragon, psychic type, so yeah, he's new. I'm trying to get him because he's kind of like Dark Star, but instead of healing and increasing your crit, he just increases your crit and crit damage. So it's similar to Dark Star, just without the healing. But he does also have a healing skill and an attack skill. So he's a support dragon that increases crit and crit chance, crit damage and crit chance. His second skill heals based on HP instead of attack, and his first skill is just an attack. Every dragon has at least one basic attack. And then of course I'm going for Powerless because I need more Powerless shards. Over here on the opposite end, Metal Metal, Light again. Light Psychic, still going for Themis, and then I'm going for Rain. So Rain, Powerless, and Themis are the dragons I'm going for. Depending on who you want, is what you want to go for. I believe Fire and Fire gives you dark, Earth and Earth gives you light. I don't know what Psychic and Psychic gives you. Nature and Nature, that's the grass, gives you darkness, I believe. So just kind of mix and match and see which one gives you wet. And if you haven't unlocked them yet, it'll be a dark egg instead of a colored in egg. The way I did it to figure out which egg was which, I would look at the shadow of the egg, go here to your Dragon Encyclopedia or collection book, look down for the dragon that what it looks like it might be. Like let's say Powerless, for example. So you haven't unlocked him yet. You would go down to the legendaries because you know it's somewhere in the back, so it has to be a legendary egg. You go down there, you see a horn, so you say it must be something with a horn. Maybe it could also be Hades. Maybe it's a genie. So you kind of narrow it down from there. Something with a horn. You would go in, click them, look at their egg, and say, does the shadow match that? You say yes, then okay, that's the egg, and that's what I'm going to go for. Or no, keep looking for something else. Maybe it was this one. Hades' egg was extremely easy because it's the only one with two horns on the side like that. I think the shadows would have it from this angle. Also, if you haven't unlocked them here, then it would also be blacked out, so it makes it even easier to try to figure it out. Oh wait, no it isn't. Well, scratch that, it isn't blacked out. Smoother eggs are definitely harder to tell because you have no idea. Because it's just kind of a smooth egg. There are a few smooth ones, so you just kind of have to figure it out from the points on the side if you're that good and observant. This is the one dragon I'm missing, which I said I would talk about the summoning place. So the summoning cave or summoner's cave is this. You need scrolls to unlock it. You can get one scroll each week for free by logging in consistently. So after a month and some weeks, you can get 10 scrolls to do it 10 times summoning. Or you can just do one summon a day. I usually just wait for 10. I don't think there's a difference. I don't believe there is. I believe it used to be at 10 when you were guaranteed to get at least one epic. They might have changed it. But I believe if you did 10, you were guaranteed at least one epic dragon each summon. Or if you did one, there's no telling what you'll get. Maybe you'll get a normal. You probably just will keep getting normals. But if it was like that, it's changed now. So you will always get an epic and a legendary after so many tries. You just buff up which one you want to get. It's not guaranteed that you'll get the one that you selected. It's just up the chance that you'll get it. And that just shows which dragon was recently added. So this is the newest dragon they added. This is the one I actually went and spent 18 million food on to get to level 50, thinking I would get more shards, but I didn't. Yeah, that's the Summoner's Cave. So it's not much. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just go in, select the dragon you want to get most of, and then go in and summon, and it'll give you a chance to get that dragon. So they used to show all the dragons. It doesn't now. Oh wait, here it is. Yeah, it shows all the dragons that you have a chance to get from the Summoner's Cave. So these are all the ones. You're not going to get every single dragon in the game from here, thankfully. There's only a select few. Some dragons are exclusive to the Summoner's Cave. Oh wait, they were exclusive. Now they're not. The only one that is still exclusive is this guy, I believe. I think he's the only one that's still exclusive to the cave. He used to be a rare here. Burns was exclusive. You can now get him from the Dragon Market. Those was exclusive. It was a water, the Polar Knight. So Polar Knight and Burns were exclusive. They were. They're not. I don't think they are anymore. I don't think Polar Knight. Can you buy Polar Knight from the Dragon Market? Let me see. Let me just do this. Water. So no. So Polaris is actually still exclusive. So Polaris and the Bright Dragon are both you can only get from the Summoner's Cave. You can always double check which dragons can be obtained by which method by going to your collection book. So let's say Polar Knight here. You would go into background and it will show you the sources of how you can obtain them. So yeah, he's still only exclusive to the Summoner's Cave. Whereas let's say this dragon here you can get from breeding and the Summoner's Cave. And then let's say someone like the Dark Star Dragon I was talking about earlier. It'll show that he can only be obtained from the Alliance. So like I said, every dragon typically has a different type. This dragon here, Hydra, I'm still working on. You can only get it from the story mode or from the main quest thing. You get charged that way. So yeah, he's a tough one to get. Minotaur was an exclusive limited time dragon. You can get it from the Summoner's Cave now. That's typically how all new dragons are introduced. They'll be introduced through a limited time event, usually breeding. So you'll breed 2 dragons that have a chance to give you the legendary dragon, and that's how you mainly get them. After that, maybe a week or 2 weeks after they were released that way, they'll be added to the Summoner's Cave, and that'll be the only way you can get them. So you can't breed the exclusive dragons like you would any other normal legendary dragon. You have to get them either from breeding them when they were first introduced or going through the Summoner's Cave. One of the two. Yeah, they haven't added any dragon from limited time event to the regular breeding yet. Also, I haven't started my breeding. You can also guess which dragon you're getting by memorizing everybody's times. So like this one, I actually have a statue that reduces breeding time. So that would normally be like maybe 7 hours, which bumps them up to one of these 3. I'm going to assume it's him. Usually higher breeding time would mean an epic dragon, so I would normally assume him. But psychic, since they are the last one they added, they're their most rare dragon type by comparison to like grass, which only takes a couple seconds to hatch. A psychic would take an hour and 20 for a common to hatch. A nature common would take like 30 seconds to hatch. So that's just a time difference between your tiers. So keep that in mind. That's how you judge hatching times. It goes by tiers. So the later the dragon is obtained, the longer it'll take to hatch. And the rarer the dragon is, the longer it'll take to hatch. So I think this is either Wolf or what is this one? Hazy Flame, or the Valraven dragon. So it'll be one of those. It's probably Wolf. I've been getting a lot of Wolf eggs. So yeah, that's how you tell which dragon you got. Memorize all your times and judge accordingly by the time it takes to hatch them. I think, yeah, I need to do another run. So let's do you. I'm going to briefly go over the ruins here. So after, I think it's level 20 or 30, somewhere around there, you unlock one of your ruins. Maybe 2 of them. I think it's 2. maybe 3. 1, 2, or 3 runes. You don't unlock all 6 of them right off the bat. You get like a couple at a time. Every time you level up, you maybe get another rune. But each rune has level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I believe. Yeah, 5. 5 is the max. So you go in, you explore. The difficulty of the rune determines how good your rewards are. The lower the difficulty, the less powerful of a dragon you need. The higher difficulty, the more rare and higher level dragon you need. So let's say this one is max difficulty. I needed at least 1 legendary that was level 50. And I think I needed like 3 stars. So 1 dragon has to have 3 stars. You need a dragon that has a legendary class, and you need a dragon that has level 50. So that's the bare minimum. And then you also need dragons of different races, I believe you'll call it. Like this thing. Class or race. I believe it'll be race. So that'll pop up, and then you need that. So this pretty much shows what I was saying. You need nature, you need the class or rarity, which this one is, because it's giving me 3 of these, it needs an epic rarity. If you only get 1 of these, you can do it with a rare dragon, but since it's 3, it needs an epic. Level 25 with this species of dragon, and then you need at least 1 star. It doesn't have to be 1 dragon that meets all the requirements. You just need all these requirements within these 3 slots. So that's how the runes work. And once you do that, they'll finish exploring, and you'll get an icon that say, hey, they're done. So you click that and take the rewards, or whatever it was that it showed that you can get from it. So I talked about habitats, I talked about dragons, leveling. I guess I could kind of, no. I talked about the quests. Oh yeah, so I was going to talk about arena. So this here, you see I lost 4 times to 1-1. You will typically always be facing people stronger than you in arena. It's just the pecking order, that's how it works. Everybody's going to attack the person weaker to them. I would do the same. They have new icons, and I don't know how to get them yet. I think these icons were released when the game was officially released. So even this border I don't know how to get. They say that they'll reveal it later. I'm assuming it's like a new player thing. But that can't be right because he's a level 92 and he got it. And he's level 98 and he got it. I don't know. Maybe it was showed on Discord. I'm not very active on Discord. So yeah, if you join this game, join the Discord, it'll tell you everything you need to know. But arena, so you go in, you can see your record, and if someone hit you or attacked you and they won, you're given the option to fight them back and potentially get your points back or more. You might get less, you might get equal, you might get more. It really just depends on the point discrepancy. So you can go in and see what their defending team is. If you think you can beat them, go ahead and fight them. If you know you can't, I wouldn't do it. You're just gonna lose more points. So like, this person fought me and lost, which is weird because he has a higher level team. I'm kind of curious what happened there. I guess that'd be a good way to kind of show battling style, so I won't have to actually worry about hitting. So let's replay this battle. You can see your replays here. And I'll slow the speed down. So my genie went first. Powerless went second. Uses firewall. Rain went third. Because Powerless is actually faster than Rain right now due to his dragon bards. So the way my team functions, I have Genie with all the speed I can give him. He goes in, boosts everybody's speed up so they can go first before the enemy team, typically. Powerless will go second because his speed, Dragon Bards. So he'll hit everybody with a pretty strong firewall. Rain will go in, have a chance to stun everybody, so then they don't try to attack back. To anybody that wasn't stunned, I'm hoping that Burn will go in and taunt them so they'll attack him instead of anybody that I don't want to die. And the Dragon Bards that Burn have allow him to be tanky, and any chance he's hit is a chance that the attacker will be stunned, as you saw just there. So I have CC, CC, and more CC. And then my carry is pretty much Powerless. My supports are Genie and Darkstar. So Darkstar just did his AoE heal. So he healed everybody up and increased their crit chance. So that's how this team functions. Rain is a DPS, but he's also a supporting dragon because of his stun. So I mostly have him for the stun. And then I recently added Burn in. Like I said, I usually have a Azura, but I added Burn into my defensive team because Azura is extremely squishy. He is the definition of a glass cannon, whereas Burn is tanky. And plus, I love the taunt chance. So I go in and taunt people. They only hit him. If he goes down, that's fine. I only want Burn and Pyrolist and Rain to stay alive. As long as they're alive, I have a chance to win. I would also prefer Darkstar to stay alive because he's my healing support. So as long as he stay alive, he keeps them alive, everybody's happy. If Genie and Burn go down, my team is still fine. But typically, no one goes for Genie. He's typically the last one everybody dragon attacks. You'll usually go for the fire types because they have so many explodable weaknesses. Darks typically hit other darks. I think Dark is weak to Dark. Yeah. So that's why like Nyx will typically go for Darkstar. Which is why I like Burn here to taunt Nyx to keep him from going after my healer. So you can see how my team won. It's tricky because it looks like it's weak, but the 2cc dragons here make it pretty hard to get through. And Burn is surprisingly tanky for an epic dragon. Most people will go for Claire for their tanks, but I like Burn because he's tanky and has a taunt, whereas Claire just has a wall, which is pretty much handled by the defense in the Magic Fountain I showed, the shield skill. But Claire is this one here. His skill, most dragons use, or most people use him for his Earth Wall, which increases your resistance and adds a shield. So that's why most people use him. It doesn't stop you, like it doesn't increase your chance of not being stunned or anything. It's just making you bulkier, which why it worked well with Nyx, who is a glass cannon. So at least it helps Nyx survive a little longer. I haven't used him because I can't get any more eggs. I've tried. But after a while, I just stopped focusing on him and went on the dragons I actually want to use. I don't really care to use Claire, but he's a very good tank support. So these are his skills in case you missed it. A, S, B, and D. Which is kind of funny how he's pretty tanky, but he only has a B class in defense. It's most of the HP. And the fact that he has Earth Wall makes him, I would say, an A tier. As long as the Earth Wall is up, there will always be at least one turn your resistances won't be buffed because of this is a 3-turn cooldown skill. It lasts 2 turns, but it takes 3 turns to use it again. So like I said, there will always be at least one turn you don't have it. Of course, unless you pair it with Losvig. Or if you're using the cooldown from the Magic Fountain thing. This one, the Origin Magic. So that's why team comp is important. You want to kind of go with what you want to work. That's why I've used the curse one. So with my 5 dragons here, as long as they can't hit me, and that's why I'm not using counter. Because as you saw with the replay I just showed you, I typically stun and taunt them anyway. If they're stunned, they can't act, so there's no point in countering because they aren't hitting me for me to counter. If they're taunted, they're hitting my tank, and his basic attacks don't do much, so I'd rather they be taking damage from the highest attack one. So that's why Curse works so well for a CC team. You go in, stun them, they don't act, but they all still taking damage anyway. So even if they live with a sliver of health by the end of it, they end up dying from the Curse. So that's why I use Curse. I've experimented with plenty of the magics, and that's just the one that works best for me. So I guess the next thing I'll talk about is the alliance here. So once you get to a certain level, you can join an alliance. And the alliance gives you chances to partake in the war and fight the alliance boss. The war happens every like 3 or 4 days is a cooldown. It goes on for 3 days, and then it's a cooldown for 3 days. I believe that's how it works. And then the alliance boss resets every 3 days, I believe. So it changes which boss is up. It cycles between Nyx, Hades here, and Rain. Oh wait, and Powerless. So there's 4 bosses. Right now it's on Rain. I haven't fought him yet. I guess I'll go ahead and do that on camera. So Rain is a light type. The dragon you'll want to use, I forgot which light. No wait, he's an electric type, which I think is weak to light. I believe electric is resistant to shadows, so you don't want to use a shadow dragon. But I'm going to use him anyway because he does so much damage. It kind of outweighs the resistance that Rain would have. Google is listening to me, or someone. I don't know who's listening to me here. So I think that was Bixby. But I'm trying to make sure I have a good team. Yeah. For this one, you could probably get away with using counter if you think you can avoid getting stunned. Like I said, if you get stunned and rain will stun you, then counter is useless. So if you want to try that, you could try your luck with getting higher damage with the counter attack. Otherwise, stay consistent with this one. If your dragons are level 60 and at least 3 stars, they're almost never going to die. So the revenge magic will never come to effect. You can purposely put on a lower level dragon in there to die to boost the attack of your team. I've never tried that strategy. Maybe it'll work on the right condition. I would recommend never using this one because it only lasts for the first 3 turns. This will at least go on for, if you're high level dragons, it will go on for 99 turns. So this is completely useless. This one could work. So really you want to use either this one, counter, or curse. Revenge is situational. Never use this. It's really just the worst skill in the game. I hope they change something with it, but it's not good right now. So I'm gonna stick with the curse magic and see how I do. So I typically let my dragons just do what they want. I don't. So that's why I auto select it. Otherwise you would go in and use skills yourself, but I'll just let it play out and see how it does. I'm hoping they eventually add the function to skip a battle. Let's see, he got stunned. And that was his strong attack. So there's that. I think he's neutral to Shadow. Looks like he's neutral to Shadow. He's not resisting it. So he's resistant to water though. I noticed that when he attacked. So no one was stunned that time. So I might be able to do counterattack magic. You can try up to 3 times. So I'll probably do another one off camera. I'm just trying to show how this looks and how everything works. So you're just going to keep attacking until the 99 turn limit, or all your dragons go down. Whichever one happens first. And each turn here is valued by each time a dragon acts. So every time one dragon acts or is supposed to act, the turn counter goes up. So if you have less dragons, this goes up slower, obviously. So let's say it's only Rain and maybe Powerless left. So Powerless would act. That'd be one turn. Rain would act. Another turn. He would act. One turn. Just going like that. But since I have a team of 5, it goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So pretty much I have 5 turns going up each time. And he only acts once. Which is why it's good to keep all your dragons alive if you can. But, you know, that's kind of a late game. I think it was a few months ago, or a couple months, I got to the point where my dragons don't die from doing this. At least not from Rain and Nyx. Yeah. I believe those are the only 2 dragons I don't die from. Hades and Powerless will at least kill one of my dragons every single time. They're just that strong. And I'm gonna definitely have to go over the dragon parts, because those are definitely playing a big part in this. Yeah, Darkstar, very useful dragon. I highly recommend rushing him. Like, I have only been using my Alliance shards for him since I started the game. I've used him for nothing else. And I've been playing this game for a little under a year. I think it's been half a year now. I believe it's been half a year. I started it when we moved. That was July. So yeah, it's been half a year. I believe I got it in August. Yeah, that's my damage. So you can look into detail, see who's doing what. So Powerless and Azura were doing the most damage. Rain was doing I could probably change out Rain for someone else that does more damage. And then these 2 are support, so their damage is irrelevant. I just want them to heal. So that's where this comes into play. You can see he's healing a heck ton. He's just there to support for attack damage boost. So his healing is kind of insignificant. His healing is only from his blood, his lifesteal. So it's not actually healing anyone else, it's just restoring his own health. So, yeah. But that's it. So now I have the highest damage. you can check everybody's damage charts here on the records. It shows everybody's attempts, what the dragons they used, and how much damage they did. So the previous best, I believe, was him. So he was using level 40s. Yeah. I don't think it shows everybody's attacks. It just shows the most recent ones. Like, yeah, on space the last 20. So he was the highest, I think. He had to be, right? No, that's a support team. Support, DPS, and DPS. So I guess I should talk about team comps a little more. I recommend either having 2 supports and 3 DPS or 3 supports and 2 DPS. I don't suggest going 4 supports and 1 DPS simply because it is very possible to take out your 1 dragon that you're expecting to carry, and then you're only left with 3 supporting dragons that don't do any damage. You want at least 2, so then your opponent has to choose between which one they want to focus, or if you have it on auto battle, which typically is going to happen if you're in arena because it's an AI battle against you, then they're going to split between the 2 dragons as long as they're different types. If you have the same types, then it'll typically focus down 1. But if you have 2 different types of dragon, which is another thing you should take into account, get multiple types of dragons, don't focus on 1 type. Me, I'm stubborn and I don't really care, so I focus on fire, which is why I was mostly getting Powerless. And then I got Rain because I loved how he looked. And I got Star because I liked how he looked, and he's a healer. So I'm not going completely on looks, but that's mostly how I kind of judge. And Burn was the same thing, I liked how he looked. So there are a lot of dragons here I love how they look, but they aren't useful because their stats are so low. Like, when they first revealed him, I thought he was super cool. I was like, yes, he looks awesome. I can't wait to use him. And I looked at his stats like, oh no, his stats, I can't really use him. Like, his attack is fine, but he'll get nuked because he has no defense and his HP is average. He's really just average. So his skill though, his yoga pose boosts his attack, and then he hits you with a 283% attack power fire move. It only hits one target, which is why it does so much, but that's still a hecking ton of damage. So he has a chance to nuke 1 person, but then that's kind of the extent of what he's going to do. Because let's say he lives through the 1 turn, because he's always going to start with yoga pose to boost his attack, and then he's going to use meteor shower in the next turn. That's 2 turns he was on the field, which you got to take into account is every other dragon that's acting at least twice because his speed is slow. Even with Genie, he may act the first turn. So then he gets through the first turn, uses yoga pose. Everybody on the enemy team will act again, or will act at least once. And it's a very good chance that he'll die before he acts the second time. But if you do, then you'll get your meteor shower off. Maybe you'll take 1 out. You probably won't. So that's why I don't use him. Like, he's super cool in design, but his stats just don't work for arena. I said I want to make him work, which is why he's at 4 stars, because I did focus on actually breeding him, and I fed him a good bit of food to get him up to level 50. But another dragon that suffers from the same fate of awesome design is him. When they first added him, because he's a psychic type, so he's new. He's actually newer than the other one I showed. I looked at him and then I saw that pose that he does, and like, it's so awesome and I love it. But then his stats are like, most of the epic dragons suffer from awesome design and horrible stat syndrome. So he has great speed and good attack. Well, great attack and great speed. Not like the best, but great. So, and his thing is he increases his speed. So he's similar to the other dragon I showed, but instead of attack, he increases speed. And then he hits you with this, which I think it does 210, and then it increases his speed bar. Go away. So he's all about speed. That's his thing. So he's gonna just keep hitting you with bliss attacks, but he won't stay on the field long enough to really take advantage of that speed. Even if you try to give him good dragon bards, it just doesn't work. Like I say, he's really cool in the design though, and I love him. So that's why I have him up to that level, and I want to try to make him work later. But in the end, it's just recommended you use legendaries because they're harder to get, so that's why their stats are higher. So like I showed with Powerless, he has all A's, which makes him the most balanced and overall dragon, like an overall good dragon. And let's say something like this one is Powerless, but with an S. That's why she has two B's. And instead of fire, she has light, which is why I like her. I wanted to try and level her up, but she was a breeding exclusive dragon. I only had enough to get her to 2 stars, and now the only way to get her, like I said, after they become a breeding, after the breeding event is over, you have to go to the Summoner's Cave, and I haven't gotten 10 scrolls to do that yet. So the next thing I want to talk about here is the Dragon Bards. So you go into here, it shows all the Dragon Bards you currently have, and then it shows the slots that you can equip them to on the dragons. So like if you wanted to equip them to the first slot, you would click on that one. It'll show all the slots for the first slot. If you want to show all the slots, you just click it again. It shows all your things. So you can like limit it to showing slow what you want to show, or you know, show all of them. And if you click anywhere here, it doesn't change the view, it just shows the stats of Dragon Bards. So let's look at Powerless here because I maxed him out. So red is Mystic, that's the highest class you can get. Orange is second to that. So always go for orange at the very minimum. If you get purples, like once you're starting off, go for, I think, you want to go for greens. First starting off is like white, green, blue, purple, gold, and then red, or orange and red. Starting off, you want to go for greens. That's pretty much the best you're going to get. If you get a blue, obviously use it. Then from there, you want to go for blues. If you get a purple, use it. From there, you want to go to purple. If you get a purple, use it. Like, this is self-explanatory. I'm just giving obvious tips here. So I do see questions about it. Ask, like, what should I do? But I say that because you don't want to over-level your early runes. You get them, use them just for the stats. Maybe go to level 5 or so. I think that's about where it adds an extra stat. So like, starting off, they start with like maybe 3 or 4 stats. See here? So it starts with HP, HP, crit, and defense. As you level them up, it has a chance to unlock an extra stat. So 15 is the max level. This one probably started off with HP, speed, and effect resist. You probably start off with those 3, maybe just those 2. It really depends. It goes anywhere from 2 to 4 stats it starts off with. And as you level it up, it unlocks more. So it unlocked HP, defense here. But each part of the Dragon Bard tree here has a different stat it can be. For the first one, it can give you attack, damage boost, defense, crit, and effect hit. I believe those are the ones you can get from the that's not the first one, this is the last one. 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. This is the first one. The first one you get is locked in at attack. So no matter what Dragon Bard you put there, the first stat will always be attack. Every other attack stat after that is random, but the first stat will always be attack. So tier 1, always attack. Tier 2 is random between attack bonus, defense bonus, and HP bonus. And then tier 3 will always be defense. So that will always be the first one. This one is random between attack, HP, defense, and effect resist, I believe. So I wanted attack, but I only could find an HP. I tried to get an attack one, but I never could get one. So I settled for HP. In retrospect, that's probably good for him anyway, because if I just keep going attack, 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 he's going to be a glass cannon and die faster. More HP is actually really good on him because he's an overall stat dragon. So it's good to have some other stats maxed out other than just all attack. And this one here is always going to be HP. Yeah, HP. So this one will always be HP. You can verify this by just looking over. So like you just go over and click on random dragon bars and see like the first stat is always going to be HP for that one. Like so this is always going to be attack. So you can go over here, click them. See that it's always going to be attack. Just kind of compare. Like, okay, I'm only getting attack, so this must be exclusive. Then you go over here, look, you see you got crit damage for that one, but this one shows crit. So this has different chances. Crit again. Crit again. HP bonus. I was worried I only had crit. Another HP bonus, crit damage, defense bonus. I showed that one. Attack bonus. So attack, defense, HP, crit, and crit, I believe is what you get from this one. And like I said, this one was HP, attack, and defense. So there's your defense. Effect resist. Oh yeah, and it said effect resist. There's your defense again. HP is probably hard to get. Effect hit. I thought effect hit was here. Are there 2 effect hits? Let me double check. So rain, like I said, I increased effect hit on. So yeah, I think it's only 1 effect hit. So this is the only way you increase your effect hit is with this slot. So really, like I said, you got to kind of work around your Dragon Bards. So with him, I wanted him to be focused purely on stunning. His attack is great, but also insignificant in the grand scheme of things for me, because Pyrolus is pretty much my attack dragon, and then I have a 0 on the side. So I only want Rain to be attack or a stunner, which is why I have all of his stuff focused on pretty much hitting you and having a good chance of, inflicting that stun. So this Dragon Bard, if you get 2 of it, it increases the effect hit, and that's all I want. I don't really care about this one. This one is good for Arita, the fish dragon I showed you, that everybody uses to taunt, because like I told you, it hits you, I think, 3 times, and each hit has a chance to stun or taunt you. And then if you pair that with this Dragon Bard here, if you get 4 slots, then each hit has a chance to add on an extra status effect. So usually stun, taunt, or silence, or froze, or freeze. Any of those can be added on with this. So let's say you somehow avoided being taunted by Arita when she used her skill, then this Dragon Bard will also be something you have to resist. So there's resist on resist on resist. And like I said, she's hitting you 3 times. So this has a 30% chance of doing it. Then her own skill has like a 30% chance of doing it. So it's just a bad time with Arita. That's why everybody uses her. Because you have this room or Dragon Bard just messing up your day. But that's also why effect resistance comes into play. So let's say you have a dragon that has effect resist and you're highly resisting the chance of being stunned and taunted. I used to have it on him, but then I took it off because I found out it wasn't really doing that much. I had a level 10 or level 15 effect resist right here, but it wasn't doing much because he kept getting taunted and silenced and stunned anyway. So I was like, let me just make him tankier. So even if that does happen to him, he at least has a higher chance of living rather than trying to resist it. He'll just be so tanky it doesn't matter. So he'll resist past the initial 2 or 3 turns of them trying to stun lock him, and then come out and hit back like a truck. So that was my strategy with him. And like I said, with him, I just went into stun. I don't really care about anything else. So I got effect hit on that one. Let me see, effect hit. I didn't get it on that one yet. Effect hit and effect hit. So my focus is all effect hit. This one doesn't have it yet. And this one doesn't have it yet. So I have to work on those. So that's how you kind of work on your dragons. So you go in, see what your dragons are good at, memorize their stats, see what their skills do, memorize what their skills do, then go in and work from their Dragon Bards from there. So now let's actually talk about what each Dragon Bard does. This is becoming a longer video though, and it's pretty much an entire little guide of how to play this game, which you don't really need because they already have one on the Discord, but like I said, I just want to talk about this game anyway. So you go to your collection book, and it shows all the types of Dragon Bards that you can get. These 2 are new, they recently added them. I haven't really gotten them yet because you can't buy them, or what was it? You can't, there's no way for you to get them the normal way. You have to buy them. So actually, I don't really have much use for them yet. I have 0 use for this one. This is a redirecting our Dragon Bard, so yeah. So basically, instead of your team, like if you have a glass cannon in the field, instead of them taking every bit of damage, you put it on the tank and they will take most of the damage, which is great if you have, like, let's say a dragon that just soaks up damage all day, It doesn't really work on a taunting team because they're taking damage anyway. I just don't see use in this one because I don't want any one dragon to take too much damage. I'd rather it stay spread out. It works if you have someone just trying to focus down to one glass cannon, so then they live longer. But you might as well just use a taunt team in that case instead of relying on this one to redirect damage to another dragon. I guess it just depends on your playstyle and your taste. So it's not a useless rune like our Dragon Bar by any means. It doesn't fit me. And this one I really want to use, but I haven't gotten enough to use it yet. So after you kill a dragon with a single target skill, or you knock him out, you're not really. It says after killing an enemy dragon, but you'll notice that all the dragons stay on the field. It looks like they're just knocked out, so it's kind of similar to Pokemon. Or at least that's how I like to view it. I don't want to think that I'm killing a bunch of dragons. I'm just hoping I'm knocking them out. So, yeah, it says after killing them. So, however you want to see it. After you do that, then you act again and attack the lowest dragon, the lowest health target, which I feel like will be absolutely beautiful on Azura. So, he has a single attack skill. Like I told you, the one that hits you 3 times. So he hits them with that, and like I told you, it's pretty much always guaranteed to kill the dragon that it hits. So then he'll immediately go in and use Bloodthorn. So if you're using this in the middle of the match, he has like low health. He's gonna nuke whichever one is left. Go in, use this one, restore his HP by hitting them. Or let's say they finished off one target with this, hit him, go in and hit another target. So he's just getting 2 lifesteal attacks. So I really want that Dragon Bart combo for him. And there's not really many other people I would use it for. Because most everybody has an AoE skill. He has a single target shredder skill. AoE, AoE, single target, AoE, 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 single, but he's a support, so he's irrelevant. He has a single target skill. So he's similar, but instead of hitting 3 times, he hits once, but it hits like a freaking truck, and it reduces your healing. That's why I like Anubis. I really want to use Anubis, but I gotta get more eggs for him, which I will after I'm done getting more for Themis here. So I'm gonna focus on him, then I'm gonna go to Anubis and get more of him, because I really want to counter healers. If you counter healers, like with him, that'd be perfect. He's great because he's pretty much like Pyrolus, but he has less speed, but it doesn't really matter. The speed only matters if you have a really slow dragon. I wouldn't try to get anything below a B. Because if you get anything below that, then you risk having a dragon act twice before your dragon acts even once. So that's why a B is good, because then they'll always at least act once before the other dragon acts twice. And he hits just about as hard as Pyrolus, and his red death reduces healing, like I said, I think by 70%? 60%. I think at max is 70%. So you pretty much negate all healing on a target that he hits with red death, which lasts for 2 turns. So he hits you like a truck with that, and then the 2 turns from the 2 turns he hits you, there's basically no healing, which is why I like him. Nyx does similar, which is another reason why everybody uses him. His Galactic Shout reduces healing, but not by as much, because it's an AoE. So I believe the maximum amount is 40%. I believe. Maybe 36 or something like that. I'm gonna say 40 just around it. So about 40% is his max reduction, which is about half as much as Anubis here. Hades does the same thing. He reduces healing by a hecton. I believe it's stealth attack. Yeah, reduces by 60, and that's only a level 1. His probably reduces at 80% at max rank. And then Fenrir here does the same thing. Here it is, reduces by 40. So his is half as much. So his max is probably like 50%. So he does a 50 reduction, 40 reduction, about 70 and about 80. So those are your healing reducers. I believe those are the only ones that reduce healing. Yeah, just about. So a good case of why you only want B tiers at least. You notice his stats are really good, and he's only an epic class, meaning you can get him pretty easily from eggs. Plus he's a fire and water, which means he doesn't take too long to hatch. So that's kind of how I got him. I wasn't aiming for him, he just kept coming up in eggs, which is why he's 3 stars right now. But his speed tier is D. So there's a very, I won't even say very, it is 100% certain that at some point in the game, one of every dragon on the enemy team that has at least a B tier speed will act twice before he acts again. So that's why he has to be built tanky if you want to use him. He has to be built tanky. And his skills support that. So thank goodness for that. Because his ice barrier here gives him a very thick shield. Thick shield for a thick boy. So he gets a HP based shield. So I would recommend HP runes on him, or Dragon Bards, which is what I kind of did here. So like this one, which I didn't finish explaining all the Dragon Bards, so let me go back to that. So the Dragon Bards here, this one, it every time you're hit by a crit, there's a chance that you'll get a shield for all your allies. But if you get hit by a crit, you're going to spawn a shield for yourself. That's guaranteed. But the 30% chance is for everybody else on your team. So you end up with a shield for everybody on your team. But it's only 30% instead of your... well, it's only 30% for you and 10% for them. So, but it's still useful. So like on him, it helps. So if he keeps getting hit by crits, he's just going to keep shielding. So shields on shields on shields. Which now makes sense. I thought it was a chance of this activating, but if it's based on crit, that'd be why I keep seeing it activated against me. Because my dragon Pyrolus is pretty much focused purely on crit. So he's going to crit almost every single time he hits you, which is why I kept seeing that shield pop up. Yeah. So another thing you can consider, this is pretty good for countering crit-based teams, which Nyx is. He's a crit attack dragon. So this works really well against Nyx. Another one here is Freyr. I use this one on dragons that mostly use on dragons that have nothing but pure attack, so they aren't focusing too much on the crit aspect. So if you want to just be attack damage, then this one, and it shares part of their HP for like depending on their. You can see it down here. So 10% damage dealt for every 20% decrease of the target's HP. So if they hit them hard, you're gonna shred extra HP on top of the damage that you already dealt to them. Which I use this on dragons that have a lot of attack power, but not that great crit. For dragons that have a lot of crit, then I use this one. So this one does similar to that one, but it's based on crit. So every time you crit them, you'll do even more damage on their HP based on your attack power. So that's why I use this one on Pyrolus, because he's critting them, and every time he crits them, there's a 50% chance of them doing extra damage on top of that. And with that rune, I will usually use this one, usually just for the attack, and it's easy to get the Hoarder, but you can also use the Bully. So for more crit, so crit on crit, which I believe is what I'm using on Pyrolus. Yeah, I'm using the Bully and the Janu, so I'm using those two. But if you want to kind of mix it up, you can do crit with attack or attack. So I use attack and attack for dragons, like I said, that don't have that high of attack or crit, and you just want attack. You can switch it up. Instead of going like the HP shred, you can go defense shred. So like the 50% chance to shred through ignore part of their defense. So that's what this one is good for. So it's very good against tanky teams. That's another. Like, you just gotta consider what the dragon's skill are and what you want to build around it. So like this one would be great for Azura, for example, because he already ignores part of their defense with his skill. Like that's guaranteed. That's what his skill does. So if you pair that with your Hoarder, you're ignoring even more of the defense, and then it hits 3 times. So you're just shredding through them. That's why Azura is great for taking down tanks. He hits them 3 times, and their defense just means nothing to him. So if he can destroy a tank, you know a glass cannon means nothing to him either. Which is why Azura is so good. Which is also why I went this one instead. Like I'm not sure. I like both of them, but this one just seems like it would be better. Because Azura doesn't really need the Hoarder. Like I said, his skill already ignores part of the defense. So this one is just repetitive. And with the defense that he ignores, he's pretty much guaranteed to kill even a tank with it. Almost always. If they're equal. If they're higher level, then that's about a 50-50 chance of him one-shotting them. Anything less, if they're equal or lower, he's pretty much guaranteed to kill them. So that's why you don't really need Hoarder, and that's why this one will come into play so much better, because he's just going to automatically attack the lowest target or lowest HP target. So this one isn't used as often, but you notice I had it on Nyx, because if I use Nyx, he'll be on the team that I'm using now. He'll substitute Azura. So this one, it does more damage if the target is stunned. So that's why it will work really well with Rain, who you saw I have a lot of effect hit on. So he's pretty much guaranteed to stun at least 2 or 3 people. so then Nyx comes in and does even more damage. Most people typically just use the raw damage rooms. I'm using this one just because that'd be 2 free turns of guaranteed extra damage if I can stun them. So as opposed to like maybe I'll do more damage. I had this one on Nyx at first, so every time he nuked them, he would just do extra damage on top of that. But I changed it to this one because I wanted to test it out, but I stopped using Nyx at that point, so it didn't matter. And I've already explained this one. The Balder is the shield. This one is your healing part. Dragon brand. Have I been calling these bards? So your dragon brand. So you put this on. You saw I had it on Dark Star. For 4 of these, you have a chance of increasing your healing. So 20% base healing plus 50% when HP is lower than 20%. So like for a low health dragon, it's pretty much going to boost them all the way back to full, which is why healers are your number 1 target, and that's why I recommend having an anti-heal, at least one on your team. Out of that are a nuke. So like Azura is a nuke. He's going to take out a dragon. I can either take out the glass cannon or the healer. It depends. It depends on the team comp. If most people typically have at least 2 healers, so at that point just take out their DPS. But if they only have 1 healer, I would recommend taking out the healer, so they don't heal everybody on their team back to full health and you're just back to square one. But this is also a tanky room, so it works well for healers, so it adds some defense to them. And because it's boosting their healing, that's more tankiness. This one is a CC. Yeah, kind of a CC room. It offers resistances, so you're less likely to take damage or get stunned and such. And every time you're hit, you know, it has a chance to stun them, which is what I have on Burn, the one that taunts everybody on their team with the laser, the red dragon I showed you. So he has this. So he taunts them, and then every time they hit him, there's a chance that they'll be stunned in return. So he's not taking a heck ton of damage by getting hit, because then there's a chance they'll be stunned for the next turn. They're taunted for 2 turns, so then 1 turn they'll hit him. If this activates, they'll be frozen for the next turn. So then he only takes 1 turn of damage. So it's CC on CC. This one, I've never really seen anyone use the full 4 set. Pretty much everybody has it just for the crit. But if you want to use this, every time you take down a dragon, it resets one of your skills by... It resets all your skills by 1. So if you hit them with the last of your skill, let's say your tier 1 skill, and you have 2 turns left on your tier 3 skill, it reduces by 1. Obvious math, I'm just over explaining this. But like I said, I've never really seen anyone use the 4 tier 4 tree for this one. Most people just use it for crit. I won't say it's useless, just not as useful. Not useless, just not as useful. Because typically if you're killing a team, let's say you have like on Powerless for example, he has an AoE that does his most damage, and then his single target skill also does a heck ton of damage. But by that point, he's taking out pretty much everybody on the team anyway, so he doesn't need the skill cooldown. He just needs more damage. So that's why I don't use it, and I'm assuming that's why most people don't use it, because why have a skill cooldown Dragon Brand instead of just raw damage? You might as well just do that. It doesn't matter if your skill hits multiple times if it doesn't do anything. I've already explained the Hoarder, and I've explained the Jamming. So this one is another CC one? No, it's Reflect. I only have this one on Lasvig. So HP bonus and reflex damage. Every time they're hit, there's a 30% chance of reflecting 100% of damage they take, which is great. Like if you put this on every single dragon you have, and then get hit by an AoE, you pretty much just KO whatever dragon hit you, if the rune activates on all of them. And it can activate on all of them. I've seen it happen, and one of my dragons pretty much got one shot by hitting everybody with an AoE. It wasn't a player, it was an NPC. I was in the... Where was I? I believe I was in the story mode, main quest. So I did that and hit somebody, and then one of my dragons had like almost no health. They lived, but with almost no health, I was wondering what happened. And then I remembered the reflection room, so that's what happened there. So, yeah, if you want to use this, obviously use it on a tankier dragon, because glass cannon doesn't really work, because they'll die before like it really matters. Like they have so little HP, it doesn't really reflect much. And this one, I've already explained this one. This is your CC rune. You use this on dragons that you want to CC. So that's why everybody uses it on Arita. And I went over these two. These are all of your dragon brands. Like say you just gotta have to take into account which dragon you're using, how their stats look, and what their skills do. And then base up. Pretty much you'll always see the same dragon brands throughout the game. It'll be this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And this one. So these right here. Actually just be easy which ones you won't see. You won't see these two right here. So those are the two, and because these are new, and the only way to get them is by buying them in the shop, you won't really see these yet either. So these four are least likely to be seen. The top of the line dragon brands you'll see are these two probably. So Hoarder and Shift are the two you'll see the most often. For supports you'll see this one and probably that one. And then for other main dragon brands you'll see these two. So these two and these two. And then these are supports usually. And then this one's usually on tanks usually. Typically on supports. These are your support runes. You'll see this in supports all the time. At least one of them. It ought to be 4 of these or 4 of these on a support dragon. 100% of the time, all the time. One of these two. And then of course your DPS are these. So. Anything else I want to talk about here? I guess I could check the chat because they've been talking a little bit. This is kind of why I over-explain things, because newbies actually still ask a lot of questions I thought were pretty obvious, but I guess since this isn't my first rodeo with like a Dragon City or a city builder style game, I already knew how to play this coming in. As I explained, the friendship shop is the only way to get the light and dark shards. So yeah. That's what they were asking if that's the only way to get these. That's pretty much it. I told you can only get it from here or randomly through playing the game, but you only get a few. So your main way is through that. Have I gone through everything here? The arena shop, stuff you get here from participating in the arena. The alliance shop you get for participating in your guild. You get about 100 each day just from logging in. And then the other bit is from participating in the boss fight and the PvP war, which I should be able to. No, I can't show that one because I already did all my attacks. So I already did all my attacks here, but this is how it look. You would go in, and you see I got taken out because OP people. I can't see my things. I don't know if they'll fix that. It usually shows it after they attack, but then a couple times after logging in, it eventually disappears. So, can I see it on anybody's? Yeah, you can see it. So that's how it normally look. You would see who attacked you. You can't see like the replays or anything, and you can't tell what a team they attacked you with. You just know that the level and the player that attacked you. So I got taken out. I typically always get taken out by a high level player because that's the only people that can take on my team. Not even equal levels, just higher level. And it's usually someone absurdly higher. So they usually have like a level 70 or level 80 team. I think even once I had a level 90 come after me, which was absurd. But this is the enemy team. We pretty much KO'd all of them because it was a pretty easy match. If you're the leader, you set up the members yourself. I am the leader of this clan. So I guess I will say I didn't actually start this clan or alliance. So this is it, Elements with full members, so no, you can't join yet. Let me go through and actually check. So 4 days, I actually can kick him. The rule is after 3 days of inactivity, you're kicked. So another 4 days, he's gone. And that's 2 people are at risk of getting kicked, Pizza and Galadon. So, but I actually didn't make this alliance. It was started by someone else by the name of Borgi, I believe his name was. So I applied to this one. I was so surprised I was accepted because I tried applying to other high-level alliances and no one accepted me, so then I applied to this one. I guess I got accepted because it's more of a casual alliance. So I was pretty low level, but I was also high skilled for my level because all of my dragons were low level, but they were also pretty strong for their level. because I don't rush the game. Like I explained, I pretty much level up all my dragons evenly and take my time and enhance the dragon bars, etc., as opposed to just rushing one dragon. So I was actually able to do more than most people in my level. Also, the fact that I powered through this game starting off. I started off level 1 like everybody else. I didn't have any promo codes or anything like that. I just Google said, hey, you might like this game. So I downloaded it, tried it out, and fell in love with it and just powered through it. I spent a good bit of money off the start. I think only maybe about $100 total just starting off because I was buying like packs and stuff to help out level faster. You don't have to. If you want to, don't buy these ever, never, ever, ever. Never buy these. If you want to spend money on this game, don't buy this. It's a waste. The special offers are the best. Obviously, because you get the same amount of gems as you would like $4.99 for this. So if you go in here, $4.99 is $300. But then you get extra stuff on top of that. So you're wasting money by getting this. Only buy these. Just obvious. And if you want to spend $5 on this, useful. Because you get more gold, more arena tickets, an extra builder, which is useless at late game. Like me now, I'm not building anything. I can level up my habitats a little more, but I'm saving my shards to level up my towers. So I don't even need to build. The 30 gems daily and the extra gold is very useful. The arena tickets is it's good. Like 5 attacks is pretty good, but realistically, you don't need all of those, but it's still good to have sometimes. I have used 5 consistently before, but as you saw, I have 5 attacks now, and I'm not even rushing to use them because it doesn't matter. This is new, I think. No, this is an event. So this is from the event that's going on right now, which I should have been focusing on. That's this right here. So this is the current event going on. It ends. Oh no, it ends. So I need to complete a dragon order in the market. Let's see. Can I complete the dragon order? I don't think I can. I can't. I could sacrifice him, but that's not. No. I need 30 minutes. Wait, can I do you? Yeah, okay. Perfect. I think they wanted him, right? Yes, perfect. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. So now I can do that. Get the last one and do another 10. Yeah, your rewards are completely random. You see 6, 2, and 2. I always wait for the 10 draws just because I don't feel like doing one by one. And you get 10 from all. If you do all of these, you get 10. Plus, if you have the dragon pack, you get 2, which is another thing I would suggest getting the dragon pack for, if nothing else. So I don't have enough for these, which is what I really wanted, which is the most unfortunate. I needed 5 more, but yeah, I didn't get that. So I could get something lesser. I'm trying to get the last dragon so I can unlock the full thing and complete my collection. But how much is it actually? Let me look at that. So Trade House Dragon Ball pack for this one is $10. So if I want to get 5 more, because that's the only one that sells it, or I could get these here. Stop. Scroll. I could spend some of my gems to get this. I might do that. I need 5 more. So if I do 200, 200, 200, 200, that's not really worth it. I don't think that's worth it. 200, 200, that's 400 to get a 10 roll again, which will probably just give us 2 more golds and then another 200, and then 200 will give us 2 extra 10 rolls. So that'd be 20 more rolls, which maybe give us another 2, maybe if we're lucky, and then another 2. So that would take at least 200, 200, 200, 200. What is that? 800. It would cost 800, and I don't want to spend that many of my gems for it. So I didn't finish explaining how to get gems. So like I say, you get them daily by playing the game. That's one way to get them. Another way is by obviously buying them from the trade shop. Like I said, never get them from the gems. Never, ever. If you ever do that, you are the biggest idiot on the planet. I will come after you. I will look you dead in your eyes and call you an idiot. But special offers, that's where you want to go. So you come here, buy all the gems you need. When I first started, I bought the packs for, I believe it was for food. I believe I was buying packs for food. So I didn't buy anything above this, I don't think. I never bought anything above like $10, but this isn't what I bought. So they changed the packs. But yeah, I was buying like $10 packs and stuff. And I don't think I ever bought a $20 pack because I never needed them. Like pretty much everything in this game that you can buy, you can get for free. Which is why I love this game. This game is very balanced, which is why I so highly recommend it. It doesn't require you to spend money. I just hit my mic again, sorry for that. But yeah, it doesn't require you to spend money. If you want to, by all means, again, let me stress, I can't stress this enough. Do not buy gems, buy special offers. Always do that. It's just a better value. But another thing is the piggy bank here. I was talking about that. Just for generally playing the game, harvesting food, planting food, feeding your dragons, and doing quests, completing quests, anything like that, will accumulate to your piggy bank here. And the cap is 400. So every time it hits 400 gems, you spend $3 to get all the gems out of there. Once it hits 400, it stops accumulating. And buying and getting your gems out, anything before that is a wasted value. So only take them out once you get 400 gems. And once it hits 400 gems, I do recommend spending $3 on it. It is the best value by far in this game. And every time mine hits 400, I go ahead and empty it out. So that's, and it typically hits 400 once like every week. If you're doing a lot, like early on, you probably hit it twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. So at the most, you'll be spending $9 a week on that, but that's only early on, like I said. So late game is about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks if you're playing casually. So that's $3 every 2 weeks, which is again a really good value to get 400 gems, which is pretty much how I've gotten all of mine. And another thing I got it from is from this. This is the Statue of Treasure. It's a CS, I call it, cash shop item. You can't get it in game, just normally you have to buy it from this. And it costs gems, not decoration. What is it called? Habitats? No, it's not habitats. What's it called? Resources? No? Where is it? It's somewhere in here. It's building. Duh, building. I skipped over building. My eyes did not see that. So this is where you get all your stuff. So your towers and such. But towards the end is where you get all your CS cash shop stuff. So you start with one breeding place. You can spend gems to get another one. I don't remember how much they cost. You start with one builder set. You can spend gems to get a second one. You don't start with any of these statues, but you can spend gems to get them. So the one I started with first, I believe, was the Statue of Treasure. I believe. I don't remember, because they each unlock at different levels. So you can't get all of them right off the bat. I believe this is the last one you get. I believe they're in order which you obtain them. So I got this one first, and then used every gem I got to level it up so I get more gems passively, which is what it does. So it accumulates gold over time. This one gets 5 gems a day at level 1. So that's where you start off at. Mine is at level 5, the max level for it at the moment. I don't know if they'll increase it. So mine accumulates like 20 a day. Yep, 20 a day. And it holds 40. So as long as I'm logging on every day, I'm getting 20 free gems, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 20 gems I can use for whatever I need them for. Another thing is like this one, it just automatically collects everything in the game, like habitats, food. If there's something done building, it finishes that. The only thing it doesn't affect is breeding, so you can't automatically put them out and put them in there or hatch everything that's being hatched or ready to hatch. It just collects everything for you. That's all it does. So it's useful to have, but not necessary. It just keeps you from, on your phone, you'll be punching with your finger on everything, which if you're trying to collect from a lot of habitats will get annoying fast. I didn't have this many habitats when I got this. I kind of got it early on, so I never experienced the problem of having to click every single habitat. But yeah, that's all it does, just collect, and that's not what I was trying to click on. So this is what I'm trying to click on. So recommend it to all Dragon Tamers. I highly recommend it myself. All it does, like I said, just collects everything. The other ones is this one. It's another idle time thing. So similar to this, how you collect rewards over time. Again, another good reason why this game is so good for free to play users, because you don't have to consume your life with it. Just play, and even as you're playing, like this isn't something that accumulates as you logged off. It doesn't accumulate just because you're logged off. It accumulates all the time. So even while you're playing it, you're still getting AFK rewards. So just by playing it, you're getting rewards and rewards and rewards. So that's what the statue is here. It does the same thing, just only partial. So mine is at max level 5. It only gets 5 hours rewards. So the AFK goes up to 12. Right now mine is at 20, but that's only because of this buff here. Yeah, so that's the buff I was talking about. The queue for sacrificing. I don't know how long this buff is going to last. Well, it says 14 days, but I mean, like, I don't know if I can get it again. I honestly don't know. But same with the idle rewards. The maximum time is usually 12 hours, but it's increased by 8. So 20 hours. So every 12 hours you want to come in, well, before every 12 hours, you can come in and collect your AFK rewards. You can get it anytime, like, you can wait 1 second and collect if you really want to. I just like to wait to see it stack up. It doesn't affect anything. It's just how often you want to collect it. Like I like to see mine pile up, so I'll leave it there. The other one here is the Dragon of Wealth. This one just increases how much gold each of your dragons produce. So it's also useful. Pretty much all the statues here are just for helping your game go by more smoothly over time, which is where most of my money went. So after I got all the statues and maxed most of them out, the ones that I really need, I stopped spending money. So that's why the only money I spend now is on the piggy bank. So early on, you don't have to spend money. You can wait and play it out for a couple years and get your gems that way and build it up slowly and surely. But if you want to, like I said, the value, I do recommend spending all your gems on the statues first. So Statue of Magic, that's your collector. And then the Dream Orchid is the tree. This is like a farm, but it accumulates slower than a farm, but it's free. Like once you buy it, that's it. So mine is like at level 5, which is what I'm saving all my gems for. I'm trying to level up my orchid, so I'll go ahead and show that real quick. It's this thing right here. No, it's level 8. And I'm trying to get to level 9. I'm trying to, but it takes a lot of gems. And I don't have that many gems. The last time it took like 3,150 gems to get it to level 8. Now it's taking 4,100 gems. Honestly, I thought level 7 was the last one. And then it showed level 8. I'm like, okay, maybe level 8 is the last one. There's another level. I'm like, oh my goodness. So this thing has a lot of levels. I'm hoping level 9 is the last one. But yeah, that's what I'm saving my gems for right now. It's going to take a while, obviously. But once I get that, then I'll level this up again. So I'll be getting food over time. So I don't have to worry about my gold problem, which is definitely a problem right now because I don't have super high level dragons to accumulate a ton of gold. Which is another reason I'm happy I spent the time to level up most of my dragons evenly. Because the more high level dragons you have, the more gold you're getting. As opposed to someone that just rushed through the game and only has one high level dragon, so they're getting gold very slowly. Which I don't even know how they got a high level dragon in the first place. They more than likely just spent money to buy food as opposed to waiting to get it the long way. So you can actually see everyone's dragons here. Are the highest level dragons here. So if you go to power ranking, it shows adventure ranking, the person that made it the first in the solo player mode. Single power ranking, the person that has the strongest one dragon. Then this one is like the overall strongest dragon, so they have higher level dragons overall. This is just one dragon that's the strongest in the game right now. It's people that have all the dragons. So I'm here lower down because I have 107. Like I said, I'm just missing Bright. Where? I'm ranked 34 right now, which is the same as everybody else. Like you have to be at least 107 to be ranked here. So, and there's probably other 107s that aren't showing. I don't know how it determines the ranks because it's not level. It might be based on how long you've been playing the game. I'm not sure. So yeah, so I'm missing one. Even then, I wouldn't be ranked at the top. But the other thing I want to show off was the power ranking. So let's see the single power. So you can just click on them. Maybe if it's in the defending lineup, yeah. So you can see there's stronger dragons here. His single power is probably Nyx. 125,000. Rain is 232,000. Interesting. Powerless 117,000. 24,000. So his stronger one is Rain. Yeah. So Rain is his strongest dragon. So you can see that here. He's going for the CC setup. Yeah, so he's going CC on CC. I don't think his has high of a CC chance as mine does, though. No. I don't think so. I think mine had more effect hits in the Dragon Brand. So mine actually probably has a higher chance. Let me see. Yep, mine beats him by 3%. Ain't that something? But his has effect resistance, so his will not be stunned, but will stun you. It's actually a really good strategy. So that's why he has the Mimmer to effect resist. And then that's just adding insult to injury. So if he doesn't stun you, then there's a chance he'll still stun you for 1 turn. His skill stuns you for 2 turns. This one will stun you for 1 turn. So is one of the two are going to stun you pretty much. So that's actually a really good strategy. But I prefer him to have more attack than worrying about CC. But that seems to be his team. So support, stunner, DPS, DPS, DPS. So he has 2 support type dragons, kinda. He is still a DPS, so he supports and hurts a lot. Then these 3 just kind of nuke you. So he's a nuke, he's a nuke, and he's a nuke. He's a glass cannon nuke, he's a tanky nuke, and he's kind of a glass cannon nuke. He's tankier than Nyx at least. So yeah, that's how you can kind of look through everybody's dragons and kind of get a glimpse of what I guess you can say the current meta is. I haven't looked through any of these, so this is new to me as it is to you. I don't really care to look and see what everybody else is doing. It doesn't influence what I'm doing anyway. The only thing that concerns me is who I'm fighting in arena. So I'll go to arena, go to combat, see what they got, and I just look at the levels. I don't even care about the runes. So you could click on them and look at the runes. Yeah, I haven't done that. I don't really care. I just look at the levels and look at the stars. So like this, I know I could take out. Should I do that before it resets? Resets in 30 minutes. I have time to do it later. Actually, I could show off how to do a regular attack. I haven't done it yet. So you saw they have a healer, but that's not really my concern because Azura here can nuke a healer. So this is how it looks if you're manually attacking. I haven't done a manual attack yet. I kind of let it autoplay. So dragons come in. This dragon is actually faster than Genie. That's very surprising. So it happens sometimes. So I use Genie's Sacred Rings to increase everybody's speed here. Immediately Powerless is going to attack, then it'll be Rain. Then it's going to be my Dark Star. So, and then it's going to be Azura. So normally I would use Overload, but pay attention, only 2 people got stunned. One of them is the healer, fantastic, but the other 2 are DPS. So now you want to take into account, what do the TPS have? Who will they target? Will it kill them? He has an Earth attack. He's going to target Azura. He has a Galactic Shout. He's going to AoE attack everybody. And going by those 2 things, there's a very good chance that he might just drop him down to nearly death, and then Nyx is going to finish him off. With that said, I don't want to waste time raising my attack power. I just want to take him out. So I'll go after Nyx. See, he actually went for Rain, so I could have boosted my attack, and I completely forgot. So I'm an idiot. Let me go back and rephrase what I just said. This guy revives people, as he just saw, so I should have taken him out first. The thing is, that's still a 3-turn skill, so that's fortunate for me. But now I have to kill Nyx again, and he still got his Galactic Shout out. My goodness, I just messed up. But that's okay. So I don't have to worry about him for 3 turns. He is also a healer. So he has 2 supports on his team and 3 DPS. So let me take out Nyx again. And I should probably take him, at least stun him. So I don't have to worry about him. Let me boost his attack power. And let me heal everybody here. What the heck? Okay, so learn something new. I thought that was the case. I wasn't 100% sure. This stupid rune up here doesn't affect just the dragon that's getting hit. I wasn't 100% certain of that. So it is going to reduce whatever skill on the team is like currently on cooldown. Not just the one dragon that's getting hit. So that thing came back again. I gotta take him out then. He's just gonna keep reviving everybody. I messed up. It's okay, I'm not gonna lose, but that's annoying. Now I didn't kill him, so now he's gonna heal himself. Let me heal Azura here. He didn't heal himself. That's okay, the fairy did. I usually target the fairy first because she has an AoE heal. But this guy keeps reviving everyone, so I need him dead now. And now I can take out the fairy dragon as normal. She's probably going to AoE heal if I hit anyone else other than her. You just got to figure out how the AIs work. So if I use this, it probably won't kill him and she's going to AoE heal. But I just got to try anyway. I actually killed one, but she's still AoE healed. So he still has both of his attack boosts, so no reason to use overload. So let's just going to take out the healer here. That didn't kill her. I'm surprised. Oh, it's because of her resistance. So the fairy dragon is actually pretty good for a healer because she increases your resistance with her AoE heal. Like Darkstar increases your crit chance, fairy increases your resistance. So it makes you bulkier, obviously. What type of healer you use just depends on your playstyle. I'm using Darkstar because 1, he's a really good healer, and 2, I like the crit boost. So crit boost for Powerless and Azura here is really good. Rain doesn't really need it because his crit isn't that high. He has a B tier crit, but you can make him a crit. I just wouldn't. I thought, like, at first I was. That's why one of his runes actually shows crit, but I'm actually going to change that, which is why it isn't leveled that high. So yeah, that's how that works. With that said, I never recommend having your arena auto battle if you're going in and attacking yourself. Defending, you can't control that. That's always going to be an auto battle. So AIs will do what they feel is the best strategy. That's one good thing about the AIs aren't horrible. So you're not just going to automatically lose because an AIs take over your battle. But they will always attack in a predictable pattern. So they'll go for the strongest attack on the weakest dragon. And the healer will always heal on a dragon that's below a certain percent. Unless they have an AoE heal. Then they're not going to heal unless there's enough dragons on your team that are low health. Or it's the dragon that's the healer itself that is going to use it for. So like Fairy Dragon will use AoE heals if there's enough dragons on the team with low health. Or the Fairy Dragon itself has low health, but its single target heal isn't up. So you just got to know how the AIs work and fight accordingly to that. Oh yeah, the last thing I should talk about, or last 3 things, I haven't talked about any of these. So these are another things that you unlock later in the game. Space Time Rift, I mentioned that getting Dragon Bars, the only way to get the new ones is by purchasing them. The main way you get them is from the Space Time Rift here. So you'll go in, you'll start at level 1 and work your way up, if my mouse cooperates. So level 1 here is level 12. So that's what the main dragons are going to be. All of them, I think. Yeah, so you start off at that level, go through, each time you win it, you unlock another level. And it doesn't lock you out depending on your level, it's just how far can you get. So like, I could go further. I don't think I can beat the level 88 yet. Maybe I can with perfect skill usage. Like, it took me forever just to beat the level 80. I can beat it now with auto run, but before I had to actually manually go in and attack because auto just was cutting it, it wasn't focusing right. Which, same thing with this one. This is the worst one ever because they see you like crazy. It's just CC on CC on CC on CC. I can't exaggerate that. Like, this team just stops you from attacking. So, but I need this one for the Hoarder. That's why I was hitting this one so much. And in 74 was a pain. 84 was a nightmare. 88 is impossible for me as I am now. And it's not even the highest level. Level 220 is the highest. And it's going to take me a while to get to that. But this is where you get all your Dragon Bars. So you look at what the dragons offer when you beat them. And there's a chance that they'll drop it. Like, you're guaranteed to at least get one of each. But the thing is, you don't know what grade it'll be. So right now I'm going for only golds and reds. So you can see what grade they'll offer you from the side here. So when you're first starting off, you'll always get greens. Well, that's the highest you can get until you get white or green. And when you get to level 2, you get white, green, or blue. Here, white, green, blue, or purple. And then down here, white, green, blue, purple are orange. And then white, green, blue, purple are red. So you have a chance of getting the higher one, but it's still only a chance. It's not guaranteed. Like I've done it five. Hold on, I'll call you back. I'm about to call my mother back. So, um, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I done this 5 consecutive times. I didn't even get a single orange one, and that's during the level 80, which has a chance to get the red one. That's how bad it is. I don't know if they'll ever change that discrepancy. Probably not, because dragon bars have to be rare, or else it'd be too easy to get and max out your dragons. So yeah, 5 times. You can max out your keys again by purchasing them with gems. It's 250 to go from 0 to 5, or you can do just wait for it to accumulate over time. So it's probably like 12 hours per key. So don't be afraid to do this like all 5 battles at once. As long as you do one a day, you can get your quest in. So at least save it to do one daily. But since it accumulates 1 key every 12 hours, that should be pretty easy. So I'll just go ahead and show one of these, I guess. I kind of don't really have time. It's already been 2 hours, but I can show one real quick. So I'm going for this and this. I really need some more healing things, so I can show that one off. And like I said, I can auto battle at this point. Before I couldn't because auto just didn't work. It didn't target properly, so I had to go in and manually hit who I wanted to hit. Even now, auto still doesn't target properly, but it wins regardless, so it doesn't matter. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to CC me. See, that's why I don't like auto. He used his strongest skill on a target that had probably 1 HP left. Again, I'll win regardless with auto battling, but I don't trust it, like ever. And that's exactly why. Also, my Dark Star Dragon on auto doesn't heal properly. So like, I would have used AoE heal already, but he's gonna wait until, like I said, most dragons have low health. So he's not gonna do it. If it's one dragon low health, he will only use a single target heal. But it's probably due to the fact that his heal also increases your crit, so it's considered a buff. I don't know. I don't know how his AI thinks. I know Fairy Dragon would be more likely to heal, but Dark Star is less likely to heal. I don't know how he thinks yet, completely. But yeah, you see, pretty easy. So here's your lineup. You see I didn't get any orange dragon brands. Everything was blue and 2 purples. Typically I get blues, all blues, maybe a green, but typically it's always blues. Sometimes I get a purple, and maybe I'll get 1 orange. I've probably gotten a red maybe twice out of all the times I've done this. Like, it's so rare. This, I would not rely on this ever to be your main source of red dragon brands, which is actually a good reason I did this. It was a good example. I forgot to mention that. So I said this is your main way of getting them. I actually lied. This is your main way of getting general stuff, because the main way to get all of your dragon brands will be from the shop. So always click on this just for faster, but you can do it from there. Well, I just left. So you go to Dragon Brand shop, and you see it cycles in dragon brands, different dragon brands every 6 hours. So this is where you mainly will get your red dragon brands. Otherwise, good luck getting them from the regular thing there, because it's a nightmare. You're mostly just gonna get blues and purples. Which, with that said, never buy them from here, ever. But if you need them, I guess, like if you're not high enough level to get to those, I still wouldn't. Just don't. Just save up all your ores here for the red ones. These are the highest levels you can get. This is the only time you should buy them from here. So don't even waste on orange. I wouldn't get orange. I just wouldn't. Like, only save it for red. That's what I personally done. I think maybe I've bought maybe like 4 orange ones, maybe 5 at the most. Otherwise, I go for the reds. I have saved up pretty purely for these. If there's a stat that I want, also you can see it from here which one stat they give. So attack, HP, defense, crit, or crit damage. So now you know slot 6 gives one of these 4 stats. this is another place I was going to mention. You can go through and check and see which stats give what. So here's other stats. You can see the stats. So let's say the ones that I say were locked in would be this one. This should only defense. Yep. So always only give defense. So it has a chance when you buy it. It has a chance to give one of those 4 stats, which is why I haven't gotten a attack rune for rain yet on the 6th slot for order, because it just keeps giving me HP and crit. So I got an HP and crit. Between the two, I'd rather have crit on him than HP. So yeah, but I want attack on him, but it's gonna take a while. So that's how I've been getting all my red dragon brands, pretty much just by the shop. So what you want to do for the battling thing I just showed you, you go here, find the dragon brand you want to level up. So like, let's say this one, you go to enchant, and then you see all the low level dragon brands. It's the only thing you want to use them for. If you're at a low level, obviously use them, don't sacrifice them. Otherwise, take them, put them in, and level up your dragon brands. So you can go to quick select, it'll pick all the lowest level dragon brands up to like 6 or 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 9, 10. So it picks 10. It picks the 10 lowest dragon brands and automatically puts them in. You just go quick select and then enchant and levels up. Maybe. Low levels don't do much. Higher levels obviously give you more XP. So the higher the rarity, the more you get. I have used the orange ones. I only recommend that if you know for a fact you aren't going to use them. Otherwise, always save them. Even if you aren't currently trying to use them, you'll never know. You might get a dragon one day that you want to put them on. So I save them just for the dragons that I don't have brands on yet. So like, I think, I don't have any on yet. I don't have any on him. I'm missing some on you, missing some on you. I tried to get some on each of my dragons. Like some of them you see are kind of completed. Others are still missing some. Others are lackluster. I'm not really too concerned about a dragon I never use. I just try to put something on them anyway. So I want dragon brands on all the dragons, but I'm not too concerned about it because I know I'll never use them. So that's just something if you want to be weird like me. Otherwise, save up all your dragon brands and just sacrifice them for your dragons that you're actually using. Aside from that, I think the last thing to talk about, or last 2 things, go to this one and skip this one for now because it directly correlates with what I just talked about here with dragon brands. So this is where you're going to get all your ores from. The shop here, what I just showed, the dragon brand shop. So you get your ores from the forest here. You can actually do this at a low level. It isn't hard, to my knowledge. Again, I kind of blasted through the game and I started off pretty hollow because I was 1, spending money, and 2, already knew how to play. So I blasted through to floor level 10 pretty easily, even at level 20 my dragons were. So you can do this at a low level. Every time you go in, you'll explore around. I'll show that first. So you see this dragon is blocking the path. All paths around him will be locked, so you can't click on them. It'll tell you that. So you go in, explore, search around. It'll give you stuff. So you see I got food, more food. There's the ore. That's what I really want. You get the ores from here. So again, you get gold, food, or ore. Those are your 3 things. You might also uncover a dragon, a cage, a fountain, or a chest. But let's go through and defeat him. So you go through, pick the dragon, fight the dragon, pick the team that you want to use. So this will be a one-shot. Pyrolist will go in, immediately one-shot him with Firewall. You'll be thinking that's crazy. He was like a level 80. I think all his dragons were level 80s, level 70s, and I'm only level 60. I'll explain that after this battle. There you go. So, and here's more ores. So this is how it works. After you take out each of the dragons, they'll give you some runes. Well, they give you a selection of runes. Or whatever they call it. I don't know what they would call it. I call them runes. I call everything runes. Called a blessing. So you pick one of the 3. It's random which blessing you get, and that you choose which of the 3 will you pick. You can get more attack, more healing, more speed. The other ones are more defense, more effect resistance, more effect hits, more crit damage, stuff like that. Pretty much every stat in the game, there's a chance of you getting the blessing after you take out a dragon. How high the rarity of the blessing is depends on how high the epicness of the dragon you just took out. So I took out a blue dragon. Most of my rarities will be blue. It could also still be green. It could even be purple. It could be a gold. It just depends. So you do some more. You can maybe uncover. That's a trap. It takes 10% of your match XP. Not a problem. because you have the fountain there, which I would always leave it for last. So here's an orange dragon. Go in. Unlike the last one, this one won't be a one-shot because it's a gold rarity, so they actually have a little more beef to them. But it will be a two-shot. It might still be a one-shot. I'm not sure. Let's see. Still a one-shot. So, yeah. My game is loading slower on my computer. So here's some more blessings. I can get more HP, more crit. My recommendation is go pure damage. Like, I've done it other combinations just for the fun of it because at this point in the game, I don't need the runes to kill all the dragons. I can just go through and win with, like, my dragon's level as it is. But you can check here, see? I go for attack. If they don't offer any attacks, I get HP or defense and speed. Speed is great so you know that the enemy team won't outspeed you and hit you first, just so you don't have to worry about healing too much. And the game just reset. So I'll go in and do more quests. But yeah, so attacks, great. Those are the ones I recommend. Crit being number one. Crit would be number one. Attack would be number two. And speed would be number three. But get speed early on if you can. If there isn't anything good. Like if you can get a gold attack, either crit or attack, then go for that. If you can't, so here's some more stuff I got. Crit damage. Then go for that. So speed if you can't get a crit or attack. If you can get one of those, then go for those. If you can get all three of those, then just go by your situation. This just increases the luck of one of your skills. I have healing, so at the start of the battle, they recover some of the HP. Not too much else to talk about. The last thing I want to make mention of is this space-time rift here. Not space-time, the Mystic Mountain. So this resets every 3 days, I believe. Same as pretty much everything here. You'll start at the ground level. You'll work your way up. Each team of dragon gets stronger as you go on. I mentioned how Nyx was nerfed because people were complaining about how in the Mystic Mountain they got one shot by him. Usually about around here. It'd be a level 80 or 90 Nyx with one other dragon. You'll think, oh, only 2 dragons. I can easily win this. You'll be surprised. Nyx can nuke you pretty strongly. So you go in, start. They're usually like level 20, level 10, depending on your dragon's team. It's like an average of your dragon's highest levels. So like if you have a lot of level 60s, there'll be level 60s up here, level 70 at the highest. If you have a level 90 dragon, then you're going to face some high level dragons. It just depends. So you go down 20, 20, about 30, 30, 30, maybe 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 60, 70s, 70s, and 80s. With this one being the hardest. And if you ever lose all your dragons, you can pay to revive them. But the main thing you want to get from here are the chests. Each chest gives you some of these runes here that you use to shop. And this is how everybody got Nyx. That we go through, do this, and buy Nyx from the shop. I don't really buy him. I buy the growth certificates, which I didn't talk about at all. Let me quickly go to that. So growth certificates are used here at the training room. You would go in and train up one of your dragon skills. That's how you max them out. So they require certificates. So you see he needs 480, I only have 150. So you would go in and buy them or just wait to get them normally from winning all 12 rounds of the Mystic Mountain. I think you get like 100 or 200 every 12 rounds. So it's not a lot, but it's something, and you don't have to spend your runes on it, and you can use it on other things if you want to. Because remember, that's also how you get most of your crystals for upgrading your dragon towers. So that's how you get the water, electric, earth, and metal. 4 of these are from the Mystic Mountain. See, my game is being weird. But yeah, 4 of these are from Mystic Mountain. So that's how you upgrade your towers. I believe that's kind of it. Go in, you see your friends list, gift all your friends at every reset. Make sure you gift and claim. You go in, you can visit your friends' islands and help them out, reduce their times of whatever you click on. So like if they're breeding, you can reduce their breeding times or hatching times, which is very useful. Have more friends, more likely that somebody comes by and reduce your times. Inventory shows all your inventory. Don't really have to go through all that. Quest shows your quest, so everything reset. I'm gonna have to do that later. And chat shows your chat. Sign in, like I said, you get this thing every week. So that's what I was talking about. So this is your daily sign in. It pops up at the start of every reset. You claim it once, it never shows again. The event has reset again. So we have a new event. I don't know who this is. Icy. So that's the dragon I already have. So I don't care too much about this event. But the way it works is you reset your chest. It shuffles all the cards. You go in, do your quest here, similar to the last event I just did. And each time you get a card chance, so you go in, flip the cards, and unlock it. And one of these has this, which is the jackpot. It's typically always going to be the last card you select. No matter what order you picked it in, it's always going to be the last one. It ought to be that or the second to the last one. It's going to be one of the two. It will never be the first one. It will never be the one in the middle. It'll never be close to the last one. It's going to be the last one. Just always remember that. So I always want to unlock all of them anyway, just for all of the prizes. You can see the prizes before you flip them. I already did that, so you want to go back and see what the prizes were. You do that. Otherwise, so this, every time the previous event ends though, it will always give you the option to finish what you were doing. You can't accumulate any more of the rewards, but you can at least finish what the rewards offer you. So I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with that later. So, yeah. Hunting test, so that's everything with the current event going on right now. And that's kind of it. I believe I've talked about everything I need to talk about. So food, gyms, dragons, builders. The only other thing I can mention here is this is a season. Each one they reset. This is how I got Fenrir. It was also how you get the water dragons, so they were exclusive. After they release, after this event ends, they're added to the summoner shop as with every other dragon. So some dragons are harder to get than others, of course. They still don't require you to spend money though, at the very end of the day. So this one, I believe the only way to get one was spending money for now. So like he is a CS exclusive dragon, but after this is over, he'll be added to the summoner shop, so you can get him that way. But yeah, that's typically how all the new dragons start. If they're in this thing, they're going to be a CS exclusive, so that's the only way you can get them. But they will eventually be added so they can be obtained for free. Just the only way you can get them early on is by paying for them, technically. And the season passes go from $20 to $30, I think. It's only for me to see because I've already bought it. But yeah, so it's like $19.99 and $29.99, I think. I believe that's how it is. So that's the most expensive thing you get, but you only spend that like once every 2 months or so. This event lasts for a long time. Ends in 30 days. And I think it's been going on for like 30 days, so like 2 months. So this event goes on. So you just try to do as many quests as you can, accumulate points and get all the rewards. This is also how you get this stuff here. So that should be it. Yeah. Also, if you're ever confused about anything in the game, you click the question mark. It's typically on every screen. Let me see. Most screens. Yeah, on most every screen. So you'll see the question mark there. Oh yeah, rewards. I'm going to click those. So yeah. That should be it. Should be anything else I had to talk about. I believe I talked about everything. I didn't explain every single statue, but you can look those up yourself, really. So I'm not making like a tutorial on the game. I just wanted to talk about the game and why I love it. It took a lot of me. I'm talking for 2 hours straight. My chest actually hurts. This is the longest I've ever talked in a game or in a recording session. Okay. So just to summarize, why I like this game and why I highly recommend it. It's a free-to-play game that you can play, but it doesn't require you to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars every week. I recently, before I started playing this game, I was playing another game, Mobile Royale. I had a lot of fun in it. The people I was in with at the guilds, they were a lot of fun to play with. It was just a lot of fun. It was a good game. It was a nice war strategy game. The problem was it required me to spend pretty much $30 every week just to keep up with all the other people at the top of the game, because there was no other way you were going to catch up. You had to spend money, because the free-to-play heroes weren't as strong as the pay-to-win heroes, so you were pretty much inclined to spend money. I eventually just stopped playing, and then I migrated to this game because I got tired of spending, being, what's the word? I was tempted to spend $100 pretty much every week just playing a game because I got tired of losing to everyone. I was like, I gotta catch up, but the only way to do that is to spend money. I'm tired of spending money on this game. Though. I want to save it for other stuff. So then I quit that game and came to this one shortly after because Google's like, hey, you might like this game. So I tried it out, and of course I love dragons the most. Like that's my favorite beast in the entire world. Then wolves, of course, but dragons are number one. So I played this game. Google was right. I did love it. It was beautiful. Like the graphics on it are really nice, and the charm they put into each of the dragons. I showed some of them. I can't go through every single dragon, and plus gotta spoil it anyway. So you just go through and click on a dragon. You can't do it from the encyclopedia. You have to do it from your own. You have to own the dragon to see their animation. So otherwise they'll be blacked out and you can't click on them. You can click on them but it won't do anything. So if you click on it, it shows their own little animation here. So you see his, it's pretty cool. You saw Powerless, it's the rolling over animation. Someone else has an adorable one. It was the water and nature dragon, Slake here. So it's pretty adorable, especially as a baby. His stage 1 evolution is pretty adorable, but he shakes around and wags his tail. So everybody has their own little animation. It's just a nice little charm to the game. But that's what drew me to the game. Every dragon was unique. Every dragon had a nice little animation. And the game didn't require you to spend tons and tons of dollars just to play. Because the game before this one I played was Dragon Mania Legends, I believe it was called. And that game was beautiful. It has like pretty good graphic details, but all the models of the dragons were reused. It was I think it was like 5 different base models for a dragon, and they were just reskinned. And all of them had the same sound effects. So this one took it a step beyond. Every dragon is pretty much unique. There's no reused models. Everyone has their own little unique animation. The only thing is they haven't added dragon sounds yet. I hope they do at some point, maybe. I really do. But yeah. I keep saying because I'm trying to get my train of thought, but that's the gist of why I like this game. You can play it. You don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to enjoy it. It's free to play friendly, very free to play friendly. Like I said, I spent a lot of money at the start, but at the most, I've only spent like $100 on this game. And then everything else after that is just a piggy bank. I have not bought any trade house packages since I've unlocked all the statues, and I think I was like at level 50, maybe level 60 at that point. So I was pretty mid-tier level at that point where I stopped spending money because there was no reason to. At that point, I could just save up my gems and get it normally. Because at that point, you have all the statues that you need, and you're accumulating gold gems from this, and you're getting constant 400 gems from this from playing the game, and then you're getting gems from your quests. Like, you just get, the game is very generous with gems, which is the most thing you need to buy stuff. Food is pretty stingy on. Gold is pretty giving, but food is, that's your rare element here. This one, of course, is the rarest, but food is pretty rare. So I say that for later levels. Early levels, you don't really care. You'll have food for days because you'll be leveling up everybody to level 10 and you have food left over. But later on, you're trying to get everybody to level 60. That takes like from level 1 to level 60 takes what? We can actually look at that right quick. So let's hatch one of these guys. Put him in any habitat. I'm not going to level him up. I'm actually going to sell him. I'm just showing off how much it takes. So the quick feed, I love that they added this. It wasn't always here. You had to actually click on it each time to level them up, which was horrible. I'm glad they changed it. Well, you could click and hold. You could do that at least. But they will level up every 4 levels, or evolve every 4 levels. Or at level 4, they evolve to stage 2. At level 10, they evolve to stage 3. And at that level, at stage 3, they're done evolving, so then it's just feed them. But to go from my max level from level 1 is 53 million food. That's how much it costs to go from 1 to 60. And that doesn't change over the levels, it just changes how much you require for that level. So like, I think it was, what did I say, 58 million? So to go, was that 53 million? Yeah, so go from 10 to level 50 is like 20 million? No, 30. About 30 million food to go from level 50 to level 60. So you see at a higher level, you're going to need a ton more food. Typically, going to level 30, pretty easy. That's where I would stop at every dragon, like I'm recommended for sacrificing and just for general gold abuse. So you can level up all your dragons to level 30 and be happy. You get pretty good gold, all that stuff. sell this guy. Also, another thing, locking does prevent you from selling your dragons. And that's about it. I don't believe there's anything else I can mention in this game. I kind of went over everything. Just gave a general summary of it, how to play the game, and why I enjoy it. I was mostly trying to say why I enjoyed it, but I ended up just giving a full tutorial and overview of the game. But that's okay. This will be literally the only video I make of it. I just really want to kind of talk about why I like this game and why I recommend it. So like I said, the game is fully out now, full release. You get it in Google Play. I'm sure it's also in the iPhone, the Apple app. I think I'm not 100% sure. I never use Apple phones. I'm not sure. I know it's in Google Play. I assume it's in the Apple Store. I assume. Don't hold me to that. I'm assuming. So yeah, definitely get this game. Maybe I'll see you on sometime. So if you do, definitely give me a shout. I believe they actually have a friend invite system. I think, yes, they do. So you can use this code, and you don't have to use mine. If you do, I would love you forever. But if you, I obviously never cared to, because nothing here really interests me. But if you do, again, it'll help me. Like, it doesn't hurt me to get it. So yeah, if you use this, there's the code up there. I'll put it in the description. Or in the description? Yeah, I'll put it in the description. So you can use that, and let me just copy that to my clipboard here. So you put that in the description, and for each time you invite a friend, they reach this level or reach one of these levels, you get a prize. So you can only get it once. Apparently, I never really noticed that. So if one of you reach level 50, that's the only time I can get this. If two of you reach level 40, that's the only time I get that. 2 times. So it doesn't really matter if you invite a ton of people. Looks like the most you can get is 10. And then after that, you stop getting stuff. But if even one of them reach level 50, then you're done with all these rewards. So you only get that once, which is most unfortunate. I guess that's to keep you from abusing, what they call them, dwarf accounts, or what's it called? What are those called? Your secondary accounts, but I forgot what they actually call them. Whatever that is. So yeah, pretty balanced. Again, nothing else for me to talk about in this game. I believe I've mentioned everything I wanted to. This is about a 2.5 hour video. If you stuck it out to the end here, then thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. If you managed to make it to halfway through the video, thank you all the same. There's nothing else for me to say, so I'm gonna just wrap this up. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please get the game. Again, not sponsored. It's just a game that I love, and I really want more people to play it. So, as always, have a howling good day. I am so tired and my chest hurts so much.